So in conclusion, we all hate Oahu, right?
Could be better.
Yeah.
Could be better.
But what was your moment?
Elevators. I'd never been in an elevator until I came
Really?
here.
Oh,
And it was probably
yeah.
not till high school.
Next documentary, go hit up Kalapana on the Big Island.
Oh yeah, got some.
Make a documentary of everything going on over there.
Yeah, they got
Burning
a different
Man.
kind of Burning Man going on.
Kalapana.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be sick.
So speaking of the screenings or whatever, don't you guys have a big announcement or something like that?
Is it big?
Is it big?
You can say it.
That's
Yeah,
how it
so
works.
we're gonna be at HIF this year. We got accepted into HIF.
Velina mai kako, welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by spelling country with a K. I'm your host Kamaka, and there's a difference between the country and the country. If you from the country, you know. I am stoked to have two friends here today, but before we introduce them, I gotta remind you to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/kamakadias if you want to support us for as little as $3 a month. You can get BTS of our podcasting and some other awesome perks that you won't know unless you check it out. If supporting us with money is not for you, but you still love this podcast, please consider leaving us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It helps out so much with the algorithm and helps us get bigger opportunities in the future. I truly appreciate every single review and read them all. And to prove it, I want to share this review from DNK Chow. This person says, "Came for BJ, stayed for the amazing storytelling. Thanks for your hard work and dedication to this platform. From another Hilo boy to you." Mahalo DNK Chow for this awesome review. I'm trying to think if I know any Chows from Hilo because everybody knows everybody in Hilo. But regardless, I just want to say I appreciate you so much. And I hope you stay for this episode because it's going to be awesome. Okay, let's introduce our guest. Support for this podcast comes from Texaco in Hawaii, which features 58 convenient locations across the state. Fueling up at Texaco is fast and easy when you use the Texaco mobile app to pay at the pump. The Texaco mobile app is a contactless way to pay for fuel so you can get in and out of the gas station quickly. Fuel your car and fuel yourself. Pick up your favorite local snacks and ice cold drinks at your neighborhood Texaco today. Texaco at Techron, driving performance. Immerse yourself in the underwater wonders of Hawaii's marine life with Hawaii Ocean Charter's hands-on guided snorkeling tours. Whether it's your first time falling in love with Waikiki or you're rediscovering its beauty just like me, there is no better way to see it than from the ocean. Personally, it was one of the best things I have done this year. I got to snorkel with some turtles and fishes, and I was able to catch the coolest sunset over the water. Conveniently located in Kaka'ako with online booking and live availability, finding the perfect day on the water couldn't be easier with them. Ride in style on their unique and well cared for power catamaran that offers all the amenities you need. Locally owned and operated, their friendly crew lives for sharing their love for the ocean with others. Sunset cruises, guided snorkeling tours, whale and dolphin watching, coastal sightseeing, and fireworks shows are among the tours their guests love the most. Use code KIA50 to get $50 off of your next charter. Our guests today are two native Hawaiian filmmakers from the Big Island of Hawaii and Moloka'i. Our first guest is a commercial and documentary filmmaker, podcast host of Uncut Podcast Hawaii, and the founder of ARIA Studios. She is also a wifey and momma to Hayley, Kaci, and Ollie. I think two are humans and one is a dog. Our other guest is a Moloka'i boy who found his way around the world as a filmmaker, music producer, storyteller, and traveler. His distinctive style of storytelling has brought him to work with some of the biggest brands, artists, tourism boards, and networks around the world. He also released music under his own recording artist project name, Nai. Together, they combine their amazing talents to direct and produce a documentary called Hometown Legends about 5 legendary Hawai'i Island kupuna who share their mo'olelo of life back in the day and how they see it changing in this modern age. I am so stoked to talk stories with them today. Their names are Kolby Moser and Nainoa Langer. Aloha, Kolby and Nai. Welcome to the podcast here at ID8 Studios. How are you both doing?
Aloha, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for sitting through that long intro.
That was pretty good. One take.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I was impressed.
I only do one thing, and if I mess up, then I mess up. That's how- I don't like hiding the failures in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you for having us. We're stoked.
Yeah, no problem.
Very stoked.
I know Nai just got back from China,
Yeah, I was in Shanghai.
and you're doing something. I don't know if you can say it. So I actually.
Yeah, no, it's I was doing a project with Corona.
Okay,
It was a job.
Not the virus. That's
Not
the
the
joke that I was about
virus.
to
Yeah,
make.
yeah.
That's why I brought it up. The beer.
It's a good joke.
Yeah, I couldn't not say it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So you're still kind of adjusting, and Kolby just flew over from the Big Island just for this. So I
Just
feel
for
so
this.
honored. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I've been on yours and Andrew's podcast before.
Yes, it
You
feels
too.
weird being on this side though.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
like, wait, give me some
Now,
questions.
now I
to
get
ask.
to now I get to grill you with all the questions. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We have a lot to get into, and I'm really excited to talk about Hometown Legends. I know you sent me a link. I haven't got to it yet, but I've seen the clips and they're so amazing. Like the quality, the content, the substance of it is just amazing. So I already know the whole documentary is going to be awesome. But we'll get into that later. We got to start off from the beginning so we can get to know the both of you, and we'll start ladies first. Where are you from? Where are you grad? And what was it like growing up?
So I'm from Ka'u, which is like the south side of the Big Island.
The
You know where
boonies.
that is.
Boonies.
South side is the right side, actually. I graduated from Ka'u High School, which my brothers both went to Kamehameha, but I wanted to stay home. And growing up was super simple, small town, super simple childhood, but amazing. It was like one of those towns that everybody knew everybody. I mean, even more, it's way smaller than Hilo. Hilo was like the city for us.
That's crazy.
Go into the city to do our shopping. There's like one store, kind of like Moloka'i, probably.
Yeah, pretty
There's
much.
like one store called Mizuno Superette, and there's like a back store that had some candy. But yeah, super simple childhood. My dad was a cop. My mom was like super involved in the church. My auntie worked at the school, so I couldn't get away with anything. So I was an angel growing up. But yeah, my kids grew up in Waimea. We live in Waimea now, but Ka'u is always home to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents are still there.
Nice.
So super lucky to grow up there.
Yeah. What kind of things were you into growing up?
I played sports all year round. So I played volleyball, soccer, basketball. I mean, going to a school like Ka'u High School, you had the opportunity to do anything. So I did everything. Like yearbook, class president, like prom committee, like literally everything.
You ran the
Yeah.
town.
I feel like that's you.
I know,
Nothing's
just
changed.
busy, just busy all the time, serving lunch at the cafeteria, like,
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then after graduating, what did you end up doing?
So I went to UH Hilo for a couple years, and then I went to UH Manoa, and then I got an internship with KGMB. So I worked in the newsroom for like 5 years as a producer and like a reporter, and then started ARIA Studios after that.
Wow.
So-
I
yeah.
didn't know that about
What?
you.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't know you
Serious?
worked at KGMB.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I
Producer.
know like I still keep in touch with
Yeah.
all those guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
producing when I graduated college, actually, I was producing the 10 o'clock newscast, which was like the #1 newscast in the
Yeah.
state. And I was like this little 22-year-old kid, like calling the shots. So that was kind of cool. I think I
Wow.
was the youngest producer. But yeah,
Wow.
that was a
That's
fun
impressive.
little stint.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of where your interest in film started.
Yeah, I think I was always interested in video storytelling. Like in high school, I started this like student, I don't know, like student channel. And I was like the inker
Yeah.
and also like shooting it at the same time. Pretty
Oh.
much the same as
Yeah.
how it is now, trying to like do everything.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, fair.
Super cool.
But yeah, I was always interested in, I worked in radio at KWXX. when I was at-
KWXX.
Yes.
You got to do it every
Yes,
time.
I was a weekend like DJ.
DJ.
My name was Kobe Kai.
I probably heard you at some
Oh,
point.
guarantee,
That's so funny because
yeah.
we would listen to KWXX with Keala and
Kat and Keala.
Kat and Keala. Yeah.
Yep.
That's so
did
funny.
that on the weekend. So I was always like in media, like worked at the student newspaper, like always in like media or video or something like that. Always.
Wow, I had no idea. Well, let's play a game of who's from the smaller town. So nice. Let's go.
I don't know
Let's
how
go.
much people is in Ka'u.
Dude, I don't even know. I
What's the
think
population?
like I don't even know. Maybe like 2,000.
Okay, that's technically smaller,
Okay.
but we have a whole island.
But it's a whole
to fill
island.
out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All I know about Moloka'i is like the stuff we hear about history
Mhm.
with like the helms and whatever. And
Yeah.
the activism. People go there to hunt, access deer.
Yeah.
And there's one road.
depends how you say one road. There's one lane.
One lane.
Yeah, there's
okay.
no
That's
two
what I heard.
lanes.
Well, I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but
No, it's all good.
yeah.
I mean,
so wait, where are you from?
yeah.
Where you grad?
So
What was it like growing up?
yeah, I'm from Moloka'i, grad Moloka'i High School. I
It says
you.
Moloka'i.
Yeah, I was gonna say you asked me last time.
I
if
asked
it's
on the
pronounced-
panel, yeah, because I hosted a panel with Nainoa, Kaina, and Kimmy Warner,
Mhm.
and I asked them, how do people say it,
Yeah.
Moloka'i or Moloka'i?
And I didn't have a good answer for you then.
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer now.
I hear
Both.
all kind.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like I grew up hearing both,
Mm-hmm.
and I never bothered to ask like what's right or what's wrong because I know
Mm-hmm.
like because you speak Olelo, right?
Mhm.
Like there's probably two different meanings depending on how you say it.
Yeah,
I have always just kind of like heard Moloka'i. I know some kupunas that say Moloka'i, so I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do as the kupunas
right?
do.
Yeah, but then some kupunas are like Moloka'i, so I'm like, I should know this, but yeah.
Is it kind of like an even split, like back home?
Nah, I'd say more Moloka'i.
That
I hear,
I would
hear.
probably hear more Moloka'i. I think
Yeah.
that's the one exception of all the islands, like
Mhm.
Kauai, Kauai,
Kauai,
Lanai,
yeah.
Lanai. Like
Yeah.
it's better to say Kauai, Lanai, Hawaii,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But Moloka'i, it's hard to tell somebody they're right or wrong because you hear some kupuna
Yeah, you
saying
hear
it. And
yeah.
when we're always trying to think about the Hawaiian language, what is right, what is wrong,
Mhm.
because a lot of it got lost. You just gotta go what the kupunas
Yeah.
do. And if they're saying Moloka'i, then
Yeah.
there's probably a
Mhm.
reason
Go
for
with
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah,
Good answer.
there's
Yeah.
no right or wrong
yeah.
for that specific.
For that one, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up, I graduated Moloka'i High School. And same thing, I kind of had like a pretty chill childhood, I would say. But I would consider myself not really having a lot of idea of what I wanted to do growing up. So I just kind of messed around and like, goofed off pretty much throughout my whole school time. So then by the time like high school ended, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay home and like, find a job and like, go work freaking the ranch or something and like just, start a family and do all that whole thing. But then ended up moving over here to Oahu and like my life kind of just unfolded as it went. I fell into, photography and filmmaking, and I kind of just followed that and like, yeah, it took me to some crazy places.
Yeah, you've been to how many
Yeah.
countries?
I had like 40.
40
I think if
plus.
you add, yeah, I probably have 46, 47.
46. And how many continents?
I have been to only 6. I haven't been to Antarctica yet.
Only 6. This
Yeah.
guy. I've only been to 6.
I mean, no,
What, there's
it's-
7
Well, like
continents?
it's, I feel like, no, yeah. That's just like the hit list is there. It's like, okay, I got to hit Antarctica at some point.
definitely.
But
And just for some context, our past guest, Sam Potter, he's friends with Nainoa,
Mhm.
and they filmed that Aloha Aina
mhm.
A lot
short
of stuff
film.
together.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy because you two came up kind of the peak of social media.
Mhm.
Kind of the start,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't really know what the
The
peak
original
of.
influencers.
The original influencers, I would say, not the
Yeah.
influencers you're thinking doing TikTok dances, but the
Yeah.
kind that came
YouTube.
up, with YouTube and
Mhm.
like cool shots, like hiking Hawaii, jumping
Yeah.
off things. Like that was
Yeah.
the original videos.
There was a boom
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, like 2016,
Yeah,
17.
because I knew your name. I would see your stuff,
Mhm.
and then people would start coming to Hawaii, and they would be with you guys,
Yeah.
and you would be filming and
Yeah.
taking them around, doing all the flips and whatever.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was
That's
a
funny.
golden era
That
of
was-
social
That was
media.
like
Yeah.
a
That was called the college days.
The GoPro.
It was
era.
the GoPro
Yeah, it was
era,
right in,
yeah.
like when I would have been in college. So I didn't go to school, but like
Yeah.
that's what I did instead. It was
Yeah.
like doing all of that. Yeah, it's a fun time, bro. Like it's not the same anymore. I feel like it's completely like, probably the motives of why we were doing it were a little, because of social media being that
Mhm.
way it was.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, it's shifted. So it's like you either like grow or you stay in that. And it's like, I don't want to stay doing
Yeah.
that kind of stuff for too long.
I think back then it was just to be cool, and
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
fun. It was
Yeah.
fun to document and
Mhm.
show everybody all the cool things that we're
Yeah,
doing. Because
yeah.
my friend group had the same thing where we would record ourselves, GoPros, make videos, go on these cool
Mm-hmm. That's
hikes.
how I met your mutual friend.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
Justin,
And
yeah.
that I feel like that got us out of the house more.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if it's because we had less worries. But it's like you want to go to South Point or the
Mhm.
Flumes or
Yeah.
this crazy hike on
Oh, for
Oahu
sure.
to to film it and post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the motivation was more vanity.
Absolutely.
And now
Absolutely.
the motivation is money. How do we pay our rent?
It's like I can't
Right?
keep jumping off cliffs for free now.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You gotta go where it's at.
It's crazy how the time shifts.
You know what's funny too is like, again, like I wouldn't consider myself very outdoorsy, but once I, again, like moved here and started doing all that, like I never did that back on Moloka'i.
Yeah.
You know, like I never did that back home. So it's just funny how like, our vanities kind of.
I don't think I've been on many hikes, as many hikes in college as now.
Exactly.
Pretty much. If you want to go hike, let's go to Makapu'u Lighthouse. I'm not trying to do Olomana 3 peaks.
Your old man knees.
Yeah,
Can I
exactly.
handle mine too?
Yeah, I'm not as adventurous as I am before. Yeah, but it's so cool that we got this small town vibe over here. I mean, I say I'm from a small town, Hilo, but then this is a good example of there's always someone who has it worse or better. So I'm from a small town. Okay, oh, you're from
Pahala is even
Pahala,
smaller,
which is even smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, Moloka'i, such a small community, and but it's also inspiring because to see where you came from and where you're going and where you're at, it's amazing. It's inspiring to see that.
Yeah,
because a lot of people get stuck in the small town. I joke around that because I don't drink or smoke, so I say I'm the only one from Hilo who doesn't drink, smoke, or have babies. Yeah, which is not completely true, but a lot of people do end up just having babies over there, living the Hilo life. Which isn't a bad thing, if that's the life they want to live, that's totally cool.
Yeah,
some people are great parents.
I like the idea of like, we'll say like get stuck there. But I just went to Moloka'i for a separate commercial project, and the people there, they're like, no, we choose to be here. And it's not, it's a hard choice. Like living there where you don't have a Costco or a Target, like things take time to get
Costco
there.
And a Target. I don't even go to Costco now.
That's true. It's funny. I went to Moloka'i and there's in the grocery store, there's like
the Kirkland stuff.
It's like Costco foods.
Yeah. Bring them
love
back and make profit.
I'm like, how to, like, you really need to choose that life. If you don't, it's hard, and it's admirable, I would say. People who choose that life, who choose to live in Kū'u where their families are from, where generations are from there. Yeah. It's like, I love that. That's like, I respect that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was
gonna, because it's weird. I felt like that when I first moved over here, because I was like, I bought into that. Like that was my plan. Was like, I'm gonna stay home and like marry my high school girlfriend. Like we're gonna have babies like super fast. And I was so gung-ho for it until I moved here. I don't know, it's like there's goods to it, and I still love it. Like there's another alternate universe where I didn't, and I'm like, oh, that would have been cool too. But I'm happy where I'm at now.
Or you can always go back later on in life.
Yeah, that's the plan that I signed up for now.
Yeah,
yeah.
You go away, and then you realize there's so much more.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go back.
For sure.
When you realize there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's play a game. What was the first, I guess the biggest shock or the moment where you realize you're away from home or you're in this bigger city? My moment was, so I moved from Hilo to Kaiser High School, my senior year of high school. And so I lived in Hawaii with my auntie. And there's a Costco like 5 minutes away from us. And Costco in Hilo didn't exist. So it's on the other side of the island. It's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
And this is, I think growing up we didn't have the saddle road that we did now. So you had to go on the other one. And then maybe like half of my childhood, they made halfway through my childhood, they made the good road. So we would love going to Costco, getting the free samples, the food over there, the hot dogs, the ice cream, the soft serve, all of that. We'd only go there for the soccer games, whatever, and we'd make a trip out of it. And then I live in Hawai'i, which is 5 minutes, and I was like, oh,
it's right there.
Yeah, cool. Costco is like not special anymore. And Outback Steakhouse and all those things, which was always on the Kona side.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized, like, wow, not in Hilo anymore. And I'm not going to appreciate all these things anymore. So that was my moment.
Convenience.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. What was yours?
I'm just thinking, I was like so into your story. I wasn't thinking about mine.
Thinking of the $1.50 hot dogs and free drink.
I think that when I realized I wasn't in the country anymore was even just moving to Hilo and like getting so many parking tickets and moving up here and going to
so
UH
funny,
Manoa. I was just collecting them in my glove box, like so many parking tickets and speeding tickets too. And then I remember telling the cop, well, because my dad was a cop,
Yeah,
you know,
guess.
where I grew up. And so just saw my car and like whatever. And like all the cops were all my uncles, you know. But coming up here, I remember telling the cop one time, like, my dad's a cop. And he's like, where? I was like, on the Big Island. And he's like, that don't count.
That's funny.
I was like, damn it. Yeah. So my first speeding ticket and just like not knowing where to park. Because on the Big Island, you just park wherever.
So you weren't a saint growing up. You just didn't get caught.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what it was, yeah.
You knew all the cops. That's so funny. I never got tickets in my whole entire life. I think this past year, not just 2023, but a year from around now. Like
like September last year.
Yeah. I probably got like 4 tickets.
Wow.
Like,
Speeding?
Wow.
No, I never got a speeding ticket.
Parking?
It's all parking.
Wow.
Parking outside the I used to live near Ala Moana, and there's street parking, and my place didn't have a stall, so would park. And I think I got 2 different, like parking too close to a driveway or stuff. I didn't even know these things existed. And then at UH was my fault though, because I thought I could try to use. So I tested it out because I work part-time at UH as a Peace Corps recruiter. So I was like, I don't want to go park on the road and go walk to school. So I just parked in one of those
faculty
parking on my QLC. And then I was like, let's just see. I'm only gonna be here for an hour, maybe 2. So I parked there and I got a ticket. I was like, okay, I expected it. Then I went back the next day and the reason I did that because I was thinking, if I get a ticket, I could just use that ticket.
Yeah. Put the ticket back on.
So they wouldn't think that I don't already have a ticket. So I did that. And I got another ticket.
Yeah.
They're like, why are these UH people so adamant about giving people tickets?
Yep.
Smart. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Efficient.
So I got about 2 UH tickets and then 2 other parking tickets. And
at least you never got your car towed.
I got it towed once at parking by the UH dorms.
Oh, shoot.
When I stayed over there one time. Oahu problems.
Yeah, for real.
Seriously.
That never happens in Hilo.
I remember getting I lived in Makiki too.
Yeah.
And Wilder has I used to have to park on the street. And I've gotten my car towed probably 2 or 3 times there. I lived there for 2 years, but in the span of that, it's 6:30. You got to wake up and move your car and drive around for an hour and look for parking in the neighborhood.
And then you end up parking 3 miles away. Oh.
So
yeah,
I don't like that.
So in conclusion, we all hate Oahu, right?
Could be better. Yeah, could be better.
The parking situation could be better. There's a lot of benefits with opportunities and stuff.
Yeah.
But what was your moment?
Elevators. I'd never been in an elevator until I came
really?
Here.
Oh,
and it was probably not till high school. Never. I lived in an apartment building in that Makiki place. So the big shock for me was I have to go to an elevator to get into my house.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then you got to take your surfboard up the elevator.
Yeah, it was just kind of a weird thing. I don't know. It's that little subconscious how am I in an elevator to go to sleep right now?
Yeah.
So that was a little fun.
That's
one.
interesting.
And then everywhere else, you go to UH in the dorms and stuff. It's it was a weird thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because we only have 2 hotels in Hilo. So I guess the only time you're ever in an elevator was going to a doctor's office or because we don't have that many tall buildings in Hilo.
No, I don't.
So
I
I
can't
didn't
even think of
that.
another building that has an elevator besides Naniloa.
Yeah, and then the doctor's office, maybe the office, the state buildings. That's probably 5 stories max.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of apartment buildings in Hilo or not really? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're more walk up.
Yeah.
Wainaku area. Yeah.
And it has to be 5 to 7 max. There's no really tall buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Small town people.
Yeah. So what was the first time you 2 ever left Hawaii?
Oh. We traveled growing up, going to Disneyland and stuff like that. But
I guess on your own, maybe on your own.
I can go.
Do you know?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
My first, leaving Hawaii or like this, like US?
Let's go US.
US.
Let's go US.
Puerto Rico is technically part of the
It's
I'm like,
territory.
no, but that was like,
Yeah.
so when I was first like kind
International.
of coming up, I had a mentor from Moloka'i. His name was Matt Yamashita, and he like,
Mhm.
you know, this was before I was able to travel and like before I even had a passport, because you could still technically go to Puerto Rico without your passport.
Mm.
I was 23 and he hired me to do a project and was like really urging or like nudging me, because I was like still kind of a little shy / like nervous of like leaving, you know? So I remember him just like having to convince me like, hey, it's going to be fun. Like it's a job. But he sent me a long text. I was like, this is like your chance to like get out and see it.
Mm.
Because before that, it was still just like a kind of like far away type of thing for me
I
to
thought
like
China
leave.
was your first.
No, so that's when I got my passport was my
Oh.
first. But like Puerto Rico was like my like taste test, I want to
Mhm.
say.
It was
Yeah.
nice too because it kind of has island vibes, right? Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And it's well like Spanish,
Mhm.
you know, influence and stuff. So it was like, oh, just going to another Hawaiian island, but like
They speak
it's a little
Spanish.
different. Yeah. But I remember that being like kind of like the eye opener
Mhm.
of like, oh, this is kind of cool and it'd be cool to go see more of it.
Did you catch the travel bug after
Yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure. It
That's
was
what
like
happened to
a few
me.
months later when
Yeah.
I like actually started to like go and get out and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first time I left. I was scared too because I was going by myself. So I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know how to like operate in an airport or like go through
Oh,
customs, like all that
yeah.
kind of
the
stuff.
first time going to airports by
Mhm.
yourself,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Nerve-wracking,
confusing.
yeah.
and
It's
you don't
like-
want to miss your flight.
Yeah,
you
exactly. The
get
Yeah.
connectings.
so nervous.
Yeah. I know. I went to Paris on a girls' trip when I was like in my early 20s. That was probably my first time because we got separated. We all got separated. And so I ended up at Charles de Gaulle by myself. And they're very like, it's my first international trip. And they're very like, they don't like to speak English. So,
Mhm.
and I didn't know how to read. Like, I feel like everything was in French. And I
Mhm.
was like, wait, where am I? We didn't have cell phones. Okay, I'm aging myself now. I'm like dating
All
myself.
right, you look young.
No
It's fine.
Google Translate.
I didn't have, I feel like I didn't
You
have
had
a cell
MapQuest.
phone. But luckily, one of my girlfriend's fiance was from there, and somehow he found me. Like he found me in the baggage claim, and he was like, "You're Kolby,
Whoa.
right?" And I was like,
Whoa.
"Yes, crying."
Oh.
And then my first work trip was to Thailand. We did like a short doc on like child trafficking a while ago.
Wow.
But that was the first work experience, like international, and first time probably to like a third world country. You know,
Mhm.
like that was eye opening for sure.
Yeah.
Being in the slums, like being at the night markets, like that whole seedy scene was like, whoa, it's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you ever think you'd be where you're at today? Because your work took you guys around the world. That's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Not for me.
Mhm.
No, for sure. There's no.
Yeah, you thought you was going to be on Paniolo, yeah?
Exactly. Well, not even Paniolo. Like, go work at Mycogen or something, like
Yeah.
Monsanto. Bro, honestly, I mean, that's like one of Molokai's like main employers was
Yeah.
like Monsanto and
Mhm.
stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What was your first time out of the country?
Spain.
Spain.
I was studying abroad. I was 21. It was my senior year. My senior year of college, I studied abroad. And so I did college 5 years.
Mm.
So the beginning of my senior year, I didn't even declare my major till I was a senior.
Mm.
I don't know how I got away with that.
Yeah. How's,
Yeah, just taking a bunch of random.
Yeah, and I would start meeting with the counselors, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I asked him, how do I become an FBI agent or like a secret agent? I remember doing that because I was like, I like fighting and like ninja stuff and whatever.
Bruh, that's sick.
And he said I had to go in political science. So I was thinking, I don't really want political science. So I ended up doing communications because that was around the time I was making videos.
Yeah.
So I was editing stuff with not Premiere Pro.
Final Cut, maybe.
I think it was just iMovie back
iMovie?
then.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I only got into Adobe because I majored in communications and my track was digital cinema. So
Mm.
that's when we learned Adobe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I studied abroad in Spain, and then that's when I just caught the travel bug.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the Spanish language. So I came back and I minored in Spanish,
Nice.
then studied abroad in Argentina.
Wow.
And then I just kept traveling, and I wanted to join the Peace Corps because I learned about it in Spain.
Mhm.
So it just
And then
set,
Madagascar.
it was a
and, like,
catalyst.
yeah. That's awesome.
And now I feel like I got everything out and I don't want to leave.
Do you speak 4 languages then? Or like
Yeah, I wouldn't say fluently. I mean,
okay.
Hawaiian, English. I was really good at Spanish. Like I took classes at the university over there.
Yeah.
And I like writing full essays in Spanish and conversating.
Wow. That's super.
So that was my peak.
Yeah.
Right now I never speak it. So
Sure.
Yeah.
I can still understand a good amount, and I could probably formulate sentences if you give me some time. But that was my peak. And then right after that, I went to Madagascar, so I learned Malagasy.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably better at Malagasy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you were like fully immersed in it.
Oh yeah, I was
too.
living there for
Yeah.
3 years in the countryside.
Yeah,
Nobody speaks English there
I
besides a
believe
few
you were there
people.
for 3 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. There's like a whole nother world out there, and
another lifetime.
it's like your life pauses and everybody else's life goes on.
Yeah.
You know, I come back. That's why I feel like I started my career late.
Yeah.
I got back when I was 26, and then I did the race to 50K where I paid off my loans. So that was another year where I wasn't really doing anything. Like I paid off my loans, but whatever. I didn't do anything for my career. So at 27, that's when I really started doing this. And now I'm 30, and I'm finally in like a good groove with my career, and I know what I want to do. But yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty late bloomer. But
nah, 30s.
but those
I know how you feel. I would say
but those things that I did, even though I wasn't rewarded monetarily, it made me who I am.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be over here if I didn't do all those and take 5 years in college and whatever. So everything happens for a reason.
People at 40 and 50 are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I see those posts where, this guy started this at 40 or J.K. Rowling wrote her first book at 60 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there is no rush.
Yeah.
It's
But
good.
There's no timeline.
Yeah.
Just your timeline. Yeah.
What about you? What did you want to think, or what did you think you'd be doing?
I thought I would be in news, honestly. Like I went to school for it. I was working there, and then just like life just happened. And then I left my dream career. And then for a while I was like, frick, like what am I gonna do now? Like I was doing the thing that I went to school for, and I thought I was gonna do like the only thing I wanted to do. And then I like took a job as like a creative director for a church, New Hope. And then like learned just like editing. Because as a producer and a reporter, you just call for shots, but you don't actually shoot anything. And you write. And so writing was probably like the best skill that I learned from that career. But then, like going back and learning how to shoot, what shutter speed, ISO, all of that, I had no idea. I bought my camera and I was like, I don't know how to use this, so just like training myself on how to shoot and edit. I never edited before except for like a class at UH. I think we had to do a video. But then I loved it, that whole creation process, and like having an understanding of, okay, this is what it's like to shoot something and having that perspective. And this is what it's like to write something and have just a more full perspective of production. And then getting into event filmmaking and then commercial filmmaking, and just like how different things within the industries, how it's all a little bit different. It's all connected for sure. Like it's all based on story, but just getting kind of a taste of all the different things to figure out like what I like the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. We all have this background of, I guess, filmmaking or editing, because I used to edit. And if you go to my YouTube, Kamaka DS8, go way back, and we would do all those like fun videos, and I would edit them, put music to it, and then I studied all like the ISO shutter stuff at UH. But then I realized I think I liked more of the writing process. I didn't really like filming, even though I know the basic knowledge and taking pictures. And then I liked editing at that point, and then later on, I'm like, I hate editing.
It's a love-hate thing for sure.
Absolutely.
No, I never touch an edit unless I absolutely need to. In the beginning of the podcast, I would have to edit some stuff, and then small little videos I can do. But then I realized I'd rather just
someone else do it,
be in front of the camera and somebody else do it. So that's why Jordan is here.
Yeah, that's why you guys work together like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it goes.
Speaking of working together, I want to talk about hometown legends. With two hometown legends right over here. Well, so what was the idea? So first of all, how did you two meet? Was it just the industry?
Yeah. How
Yeah.
did we meet?
I was thinking about this. It's so funny to think about it because I feel like I've known you forever.
Yeah,
but I was like,
it's only been
yeah, we've only known each other for like maybe 4 years.
3-4 years. Yeah.
We were like up for this big, so we were like candidates for this, I don't even want to say the brand. It's like this high-end hotel chain, I guess.
Yeah.
So they were looking for filmmakers in different parts of the world who would take care of all the content for that area. And so Andrew and I, and Andrew, who's my co-host on Uncut Hawaii, who's also a filmmaker, Andrew and I were like a candidate. Yeah. A candidate for Hawaii, and Nai was a candidate for Hawaii, and we were like, I guess, competing.
That's how it. I totally forgot about that.
Met.
Oh, you
that's
guys
how
were
we
enemies.
Yeah, we kind of were like.
Yeah, they were considering either Nai or me and Andrew, and then you and Andrew knew each other.
Yeah, I knew
a little
Andrew
bit. So then we were kind of like, hey, instead of one of us getting it, let's just like work together. And then we just started a company. So we started a company together back in 2020. But then the pandemic happened and everything kind of changed. But then since then we worked on a bunch of different projects, commercials, stuff together. Yeah.
Dang.
We just work well together, I think.
I kind of like how you're saying like you don't like to edit anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think that's
I don't like
where
to shoot anything.
Yeah. So like we kind of like, if anything in life, like a good relationship kind of like will pick up where the other people don't enjoy, or they're like they're not as like their strengths are there, right? So you came at me with the direct, like this was kind of like your baby, right? Your brain baby.
For
like,
hometown.
Yeah, for hometown.
Yeah.
But even before that, like you would kind of be like in the producer director role, and I have the technical know-how of the like editing, shooting, and stuff.
Yeah, like any chance we'd have to work together. It was just, I think we have like similar values and approach to shooting, and like similar vibe. So it was just easy. It was like super easy and fun whenever we'd have a project together.
Yeah.
So that's how we met. But
that is how we met. I forgot that we were like kind of like in the little ring for that.
Yeah.
That's so long ago. This was like pre-COVID, like right before COVID happened. And like, I think I remember getting lunch with you and Andrew the first time at what is it, Vane? Kakako. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can work with these guys or not. Yeah. But it was good vibes the whole time. Yeah, it was good.
See, community over competition.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
It's good stuff. And then hometown.
And then hometown. So and then hometown legends. Like I think the idea of hometown legends started, like it was a spark long, like I would say 20 years ago. I like had this idea of telling kupuna stories, and like I think if you ask any filmmaker, they would tell you like one day I'm gonna do this project. Like they have this project in their heart or in their mind, like that they want to work on one day. And so hometown was definitely that for me. I think it just came from like growing up with my grandparents like around a lot, and my grandma was Japanese and always cooking like traditional Japanese foods. My grandpa is Hawaiian, full Hawaiian. He would like make his fishing nets. He was an amazing fisherman. Like he just knew, like he just stare at the ocean tides, and he just like knew when to throw, or like when to pick opihi, or when to get the vana. And we always had fish, like, and opihi and ama crab. Like I took it for granted. I was like, oh, fish and poi again. Like, can we have like chicken or something? But then they all passed, and then I just regretted, I guess. Like I never asked to teach, tell me how to make a net, or tell me when to go pick opihi. Picking opihi is like my favorite thing. And like I just took it for granted. And I think that was kind of the spark of like why I wanted to do Hometown Legends. And then like a year ago, so this is like summer of 2022. Yeah. I sit on the board for Rise High, and then we were just going
also
around.
Also a great organization.
Yeah,
See, that's why all the things I like, Kolby's connected to everything. What the heck? I had no idea.
Yeah, no, those good people, good org. And we were
Gabe,
going
right?
around. Yeah, Gabe, he's awesome. We were going around the circle, and all the board members are really talking about like what they have going on in their business and their life. And I just like blurted out, I'm gonna make a film about kupuna. And they're like, okay, like, okay, let's see you do it. And like when you say it out loud, like put it into the universe, all of a sudden I'm just like, shit, now I really gotta do it, because these guys are gonna hold me accountable. So the very next day I called Nai, because I wouldn't have ever thought to do it without him. And I was like, nah, like we're working on this project
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
I had no choice in the
Yeah.
matter. But it was like, it fit though. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that whole journey was crazy because and during crew meetings, like we'd always say like, okay, what we're about to do is kind of like beyond what we've ever done before. Like we've never done a feature doc before. We've never done something at this scale. So we're kind of like we're like pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody on the team, and we have an amazing team. But it was a reach for sure. Yeah. And we filmed everything. It's crazy. Like this, when I tell people the timeline of Hometown Legends, they're like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
I like pitched the idea to Nai in July. We shot everything in August. It was like a week and a half because that's what Nai had available. So we did all that pre-production story finding within a month, shot it in like a week. And then we had edited an hour-long feature doc by December and showed it to the legends and their family, which is kind of crazy that we did that. But yeah.
I'm proud of us for kind of pulling it off. Because it was, I mean, again, like, not that it wasn't perfect because everything can be improved, but like, I'm really happy with like what actually came out of it. And, you can always have more time to kind of like polish and refine. But like you said, like it was like stretching all of our comfort zones of like, wow, we've never taken on something like this, like the scale, the actual, like the heaviness, like the responsibility you felt like telling like kupuna stories and stuff. Cause it's kind of heavy, it's, I mean, I don't want to get too sad about it, but it's like, again, everyone has someone you wish you spent more time with. So that was where that came from too, was like, yeah, we want to get this out because they deserve to see it, to have their family see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it turned out, still is. It's still a pretty cool project.
Yeah. Yeah. It's heavy, and I feel like it is like a big kuleana that we took on because like these people that we interviewed, they're legends. They're amongst like Hawai'i Island and like the broader like Hawaii. They're huge. Like they've done so much for the community, and their name carries like a lot of weight. So if you say like, oh yeah, we're interviewing Uncle Manny, they're like, whoa, how'd you get that? You know, like wow. And then we're asking them to tell us about their whole life. Uncle Manny's 90 years old. He's done a lot in 90 years. And like to pull out those stories from his kupuna growing up in Keaukaha is like such an honor. But yeah, very heavy.
Wow, that's wild. It is inspiring, and it inspired me to focus, or I guess be more aware of the kupuna and their stories and try to document it, because people talk about learning from their kupunas, and then the same thing, like I wish I would have learned, or I didn't care and now they're gone. And especially the generation above us, like our grandparents' generation and before them, that's like the last generation of the true Hawaiian people, like around the time where they couldn't speak and whatever, and it kind of when it came back. And so if we don't document that,
there's so few of them left, honestly. So like in this journey of creating this, we're finding pockets of where the language did continue, or where the traditions and the practices did continue. But like the majority, like they didn't. Like my dad's generation, he was like, we were embarrassed to be Hawaiian. They never learned the language. So it was his dad, so my papa, who passed away, like that was the last of our family that learned the language. And all of them passed away. So now we're hearing it, like maybe certain cousins or nieces and nephews learned it, but then they're trying to remember from how their mom and dad spoke it. And so it's like secondhand kind of, you know? So it's like watered down knowledge, or they're trying to just remember how they made their nets or how they made their lohala, or, you know. So the kupuna who are actually learned it firsthand and are teaching it, there's not that many left.
So how do you find these people, and what makes you consider them a legend?
Yeah, so we started on Hawai'i Island because that's where I'm from, and then
Big Island,
that's
best
where we
island,
knew.
Continue.
No.
That's where we had the most connections, and then so I and our producer Sherry, who's also super connected, Sherry Salmon, we just like called and texted everybody and anybody that we knew that were connected to Kupuna, like, who would you interview? This is our idea. Like, who would you interview for a project like this? Who's a legend? And so we had a list of about 50 kupuna.
Wow.
And then the ones that kept coming up over and over again, like Uncle Sunny Kealani, we're like, okay, well, let's reach out to him, which that whole process was crazy because they don't do email. They don't have cell phones. Rarely have cell phones. They don't answer.
Yeah,
like,
show up to the house.
Pigeon carrier kind.
Literally.
send the
post,
Hawaiian hawks or something.
Yeah, literally people were like, well, he's eating dinner right now, so call the house right now. Like, call Uncle Manny. Like, everybody's afraid of him. Nobody's willing to like make an introduction.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
an email's a good soft intro, right?
Yeah, he would have never gotten an email though. He doesn't check email. He doesn't have a cell phone. So like that whole process was so different because we're used to commercial space where it's like they have a PR manager or like somebody to make the thing happen. But we had to I had to literally go down to the canoe club and just introduce myself and tell him what this project was about and sit and like ask him to be a part of it and like listen to his stories. And like after that though, after you make that initial like connection and like they trust you, they'll give you everything. They'll take you everywhere. You know, it's like so special. Like once you're in, you're like in for life.
I remember, didn't you like go down to the canoe club and Uncle Manny was like, oh, come by my house like later today or something, right? And with like,
well, I called him on the phone.
Okay.
He was eating dinner. His daughter was like, call him now. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay. And he was like, meet me down at the canoe club, 8:00 Monday morning.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll be there. I was there at 7:35 with donuts from KTA. Yeah. But I'm like proud of that because that's like really out of my comfort zone.
Yep, exactly.
I was like, that was scary.
But you did it.
Did it.
You didn't let it stop you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dang. So that was one of them. And who are the 5 people?
The 5 is Uncle Manny Vincent. So he started Kauai Canoe Club 50 years ago.
Okay.
And he's also like so knowledgeable about like Mauna Kea. Like that's his passion. He hiked every inch of Mauna Kea and knows everything about that mountain. He was a firefighter. He like fought in the Korean War. He he's amazing. Canoe is like what he's I think known for the most. But he's done so much. He's 90 years old.
It's crazy.
And then Uncle Sunny Kealani, he worked for Parker Ranch. His daughter Ku'ule, to his whole family, they're all legends. But his family started Kiholo, like built Kiholo basically.
Wow.
And he's from Pu'uanahulu. He would like walk from Kiholo to Pu'uanahulu like 17 miles or something. He said, like they walk back and forth, you know, with his tutu. Just also like learned Olelo Hawaii from his grandma. So the way that he speaks too, it's like little different. So
was that the clip that was on? I love that clip. I was just watching it again.
He said, there was and so much that didn't make the final thing was like so good because you have to cut, right? But I remember like listening to that stuff. I was like, wow, it's really beautiful.
He learned the language from his grandma. So when he's speaking too, he's like explaining the words because it's not typical Olelo Hawaii. He's like, oh, normally people say this, like peheo oi, but like we say it like this. And so it's such a treasure, you know? Like I just want him to speak. I just want to do one just him speaking, how he learned the language. Uncle Willie Kalpiko, he's from Miloli'i. His like ohana's from Miloli'i, generations deep. Yeah, and he moved up to Oahu, but then moved back, and then he was really involved in like legislature, like protecting the place and getting involved in with lawmakers to protect the place. So that was really cool to hear his story. Auntie Shirley Kauhaihau, she's from South Kona too. She's a master lauhala weaver. She learned from her grandma. And it's cool. Like she doesn't sell any lauhala hats. The hats is like her thing, papale. But she just makes and gifts people. So she's never sold a hat. But she's made so many. and all of her family, her kids, grandkids, great-grand, like they all have hats. It's really sweet.
Cool.
And then Uncle Keone Teraldi. He's actually from here, from Oahu, but he lived down Kilka. Do you know Uncle Keone?
I know
Mana?
Leo.
You know Mana?
Leo.
Yeah. I know the last name Teraldi.
Yeah.
And then the young brother Kane.
Kane. Yeah. He's a professional surfer. Yeah. So Uncle Keone is a pahu drum maker, and he's a master pahu drum maker, and he's also done so much for the community too down in Kilka. So
wow.
yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So heavy people are like really like solid, like legend.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
The first time I have free time, I think maybe Friday night, Saturday night, right before football season. Football games.
Y'all pumped up.
Your Sundays and Mondays are off.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna be traveling for 3 weeks, so I'm gonna have
all
some time to watch it.
Yeah.
So if I don't get to it by this weekend, then next week I'm for sure gonna watch it.
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
been.
And I'm gonna go leak it on the internet. So if anybody wants the link, hit me up. Venmo, Kamaka DS8. You know where to find me.
Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool to like also, it's not available online streaming right now.
Unless you hit me up. Let's just be clear about that.
So people actually have to come to screenings and like come and watch it, you know? And we've had so many like at almost all the Kamehameha Schools campuses, UH. And it's just cool to see how everybody has their own special connection to the film, you know, and you see people crying and like they'll come up after and be like, wow, that really reminds me of my grandma or whatever, you know, everybody has a story. So it's been really cool to see how our film has impacted so many different, and even the Kiki, like tiny, like 3-5 years old, they'll like ask questions afterwards. They sit and watch the whole thing. It's so cool.
Yeah. So speaking of the screenings or whatever, don't you guys have a big announcement or something like that?
Is it big?
Is it big?
You can say it because I actually don't know the details. I think I just like blurted out something that I wasn't supposed to blurt out the last time I talked about
it. So, whoopsie.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
by now,
the timing of this
airing,
episode is perfect for the release.
Okay,
So
good.
that's
Yeah,
why
so we're gonna be at HIF this year. We got accepted into HIF. Yeah. So it's going to be on October 13th is when they're screening Hometown Legends at Halekulani.
Nice. And this comes out October 12th, I think.
For real?
Sick.
Yes.
Go watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think if I got my calendar dates correct, it will be October. Oh, no, it'll be, October 12th.
Okay,
Sweet.
cool.
Yeah. So hopefully people can hear it and then, go
Right
check it
on.
out.
Yeah, for not really knowing what it was going to be, like, it's kind of cool.
It is really cool. Like,
it
was a big deal for us. Yeah. And we've been, we got into so many festivals. Like, we just kind of put it out there. And I think we're in like a dozen festivals. But HIF was the big one for us. Like, we've never been at HIF before. It was just kind of also reaching, like, maybe we'll be at HIF.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Definitely
super cool.
Yeah. It'd be cool if you make it to Burning Man Festival.
Burning Man.
Doesn't make any sense, but it would be cool. We're talking about festivals.
Yeah. Or Fire Festival.
Yeah. Quick side note, because I just recently learned. Do you know that Burning Man isn't a music or like a concert thing?
It's not. It's like some like community thing.
Psychedelic thing.
Well, they just,
but they have people play, right? There's music artists.
I don't think so.
I think they do have music.
I mean, maybe it's not
do
like
it
a concert. It's
themselves.
not like a Coachella thing.
Yeah.
People just go there and camp and like probably do drugs, and it's just like this time where you're just free to do whatever.
I know some artists
and
will
then
like
they burn stuff.
They bring their own sound systems, or like they have to like if they're gonna play music, they have to do it.
Okay, but it's not like organized.
It's not organized. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you see the whole fiasco of like all the mud and
but
like
I saw
torrential?
another podcast. I think it was like Barstool Sports, and then these girls were talking about how they found out that Burning Man's not an actual festival, concert, whatever.
You're out there in like the middle of the desert, like not shower. Like there's something you can't use money.
And
out
you can't
there.
use money. You just bartering or whatever. Yeah.
How long does it go on for?
3 days.
Oh,
I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday usually.
Yeah. Crazy.
But it's crazy. They still charge money for go. Like I think you need to buy tickets. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not sure. Do you have any interest of going?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's not my.
No.
I mean, I shoot festivals and stuff, but like Burning Man's kind of it seems like a cool experience. Maybe one time.
Kind of like how people do ayahuasca or something.
Yeah.
But
Maybe we'll see Aaron Rodgers there.
I know plenty of people that have like said it's been a really cool experience. I know plenty of people have said like, no, it's really not that cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think depending on your tastes.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
look
you
more
guys
into
should
it.
next documentary go hit up Kalapana on the Big Island.
oh yeah, got
Just
some.
make a documentary of everything going on over there.
Yeah, they got
Burning
a different
Man.
kind of
Burning
Burning Man
Man
going on.
Kalapana.
Oh my god.
Pretty sick. Funny.
That's my pitch. Take it or leave it.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Speak to producers and
Yeah. So what has been the biggest takeaway from filming this Hometown Legend and working together?
You wanna
You
go?
go first.
Okay.
I gotta think about my answer.
The biggest takeaway, I mean, again, I think like, you know, I said earlier how we were stretching ourselves like in pretty much every way possible. Like the scale of what we were doing, we had no kind of like, we knew what we were doing, but it was very unknown, you know? The big takeaway for me was like to do that more, you know, or find more things that like kind of like challenge you in that way. Because I feel like there's not a lot of stuff, especially like if you're used to your routine and like we can get so just embedded into like every day, like the same old stuff, that if you don't have like that thing that you want to go out and just do, like you keep putting off and you say, oh, someday, like I'll do it. And that was for you. Like technically you came to me and I was like, yeah, I'd love to do it.
We're doing this.
But in the same way, like, you know, you're open to those opportunities.
Yeah.
I feel like I grew a lot through that, like in my career. And then also just like, you know, a better just like sense of connection to people, because it was really cool getting to sit down and actually document that. And I feel like it just kind of like, it supports itself, because now you stepped out, you did it. At the end, you're like, oh, that was not that bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, I could do it again. And then you're like, oh, this is why it was like kind of hard last time. But, you know, it's just how life goes, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, I think similar. Like, I think, so one takeaway was that learning like this part of the industry, which is completely new to us. Like, we've never done a feature documentary, like I said. It was like an unknown world. Like, how do people do that? How do people fund something like this? Because the way that we did it too, like we brought like, we brought like all the gear, and we wanted to do it right. Like we didn't want to just
shoot it on a Rebel
like guerrilla
T3i
style kind of just like, we really wanted to do a good job, because these legends, like we wanted them to look like heroes, like that kids see in movies. And we really wanted to make them look like legends. So there's a lot of people on the crew and a lot of gear involved. And so we're like, okay. And everybody on my team, like from our DP, like editors, like everybody just did it for the love of this. And they did it as like their own passion project. Like nobody charged me their day rate, like, so to do something at that caliber would have cost a lot of money if I paid the day rate to everybody, but everybody just like did it. And I think that's how a lot of pilots, kind of get off the ground, like a whole series, because we're planning to do a series. But just learning this part of documentary filmmaking and how people get funding for it and like applying for grants and all this stuff is so new. I never ever once applied for a grant before. And that's one way people get it covered. Also like introduced to like distribution and like, different platforms that might pick up the series. And so it's been a really cool learning opportunity, I think. And then I think like the big takeaway is just like stepping into your kuleana, or something that like kind of is in the back of your mind. It's in the back of your mind for a reason. Like there's a reason why I had that seed planted, like one day I want to tell kupuna stories, and that just honoring that voice. I really think that Hometown Legends was so much bigger than us. I think that there was something else guiding us, whether it was our kupuna or just, it was something that we needed to do, and it would have never gone away. I feel like that nagging would have just stayed with me forever. And then, but now that it's out there, like you can touch it and feeling it's an actual film. It's like proof that that voice was there for a reason, and to hear the stories that came from it, people who are touched by it. I mean, yeah, I think, and then it makes me lean more into that voice. Like, okay, there's a reason why that happened when it happened. Like, I wish I'd listened to it like a long time ago, but there's a reason why we did it when we did it. Maybe I wouldn't have had Nai then.
Wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't have been the
some way,
same.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now just leaning into that and like, okay, we did that, and like, let's see where this leads, and just being grounded in that purpose, I guess, and just doing it. Yeah, just having purpose in our work. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good.
Super cool. So before we take a break, where can we find this if we don't go to the Hawai'i International Film Festival?
Well, follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
We try to keep it like everybody updated. We have a couple other screenings, like 2 on Hawai'i Island this month. Oh, actually, sorry. This is going to come out in October. We're going to have additional screenings, and then we're talking with different platforms to have it available to a bigger audience soon.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Max, all the streaming platforms. I got all of them.
Yeah,
YouTube TV.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
You got the hookup?
Paramount. Oh, it's you know I use whatever my family's login is. I do not pay for one of them. Except I just paid for a Sunday ticket.
What's
for
that?
football.
And
It's
for football.
So you get all the games.
Is that like
whenever
all access?
All the market or the non-market games, and there was a student discount.
Oh, sick.
So because I work for UH, I have a student email.
Wow.
So that's my life hack. I did.
So you can do that for everything, like pretty much anything that
If
has
you
student
so
discount?
here's a life hack for
Apple
everybody.
student discount?
If you have I want to say UH, but any college email, like you went to college and you still have your email, it's still active, use it because you can get student discounts, or just ask a friend.
That's funny.
But they'll probably send the email, confirmation email to that email.
And you
So
still
it gotta
didn't check?
be active.
Yeah.
I haven't logged into that email. Yeah, I just put it in and they don't ask.
Well, now they're gonna
That's
check.
funny.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, they're gonna
Now they're like, oh,
Jordan,
we gotta
cut
catch this
out.
guy. Yeah, it's funny.
Right on. Okay, well, let's
Cool.
take a quick shishi break and we'll come back with a fun game.
Sweet.
Okay.
Fun.
All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Mahalo to our drink sponsor, Shaka Tea, for providing the best quality shishi around. How you enjoying the drinks?
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super yummy.
And I don't have the jitters. 'Cause there's no
Yeah,
caffeine.
0 calories,
Yeah.
0 caffeine.
Mhm.
Yeah, super good ingredients. Momaki tea is great for you. Just overall health. I love it. Okay, so right now we're going to get into a game that we've played multiple times here. My new favorite game called Gas or Pass, presented by Texaco in Hawaii, okay? So I don't know if you've seen the clips, but basically, if something is gas, that means it's good. Like, oh yeah, gas. And if something's bad, then you pass.
Okay.
Okay? Because apparently the cool kids say gas. for
Gas.
cool
I was
things.
gonna bring that up. I was like,
Yeah.
that's very Gen Z of you.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be hip. All right. All right. So the first one, okay. And you guys can have different opinions as well. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, I'm not letting you influence
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
at all.
Okay,
Okay.
influencer.
Okay. Bowl cuts. Gas or pass?
Big pass. Big pass.
Pass.
Was it ever
For
gas?
myself?
No,
Oh,
just in general.
In general?
Is it one of those things that are coming back again?
No,
like
no,
those
no.
weird.
It's just
Okay.
something I thought about.
Hey, you know
Okay.
what?
Growing up,
I was gonna say, I
feel
bet
like
you had a bowl cut. That's
I had a
why.
bowl cut.
Yeah. No, gas in that sense.
Yeah.
But like, for a 10 and under,
Okay,
gas.
Yeah.
Depends
10 and
how old you are.
above.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. If you're under 10, bowl cuts,
bowl cuts gas. Yeah.
Above 10,
No.
pass.
Yeah.
Big pass.
But some weird hairstyles are coming back, like on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the middle part.
Oh, is that coming
That's
back?
coming back.
Really?
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't dig like the floppy hair look that it's like boys are doing now.
Mm.
It's like just
Like the
messy,
K-pop, like
floppy.
oh
Have you seen
no,
that?
I don't know.
I don't want to see it, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like overgrown, but like it's like shaved on the bottom. So
Yeah, I
it's
was
like,
gonna say. I know the bald to the skin over here, and then like
yeah, that's what it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, but they forgot to cut the
perms
top
on the
part.
top.
Yeah.
My college days was a full hawk.
Nice.
I had the full
Did you
hawk.
have one?
I had full hawk and I had earrings.
You know what's funny? I was at
Mm.
Starbucks, like Starbucks. No, and she was younger, so she was probably like, just out of high school or something. And I had my hat off. And she's like, "I love your haircut. It's so 2000s." I was like,
oh,
"What do you mean? It's just like short on the side and long on the top. Like I've been doing this since 2010. But I was like, that was the first time I ever got it. I was like, it's very like,
Wow.
So
it's giving.
It's giving.
Yeah, it's just like, I was like, I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, thanks. Yeah, I'm 30. Like, I'm 2000s. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How old is this girl?
Oh, she was probably like just out of high school. She looked like 17, 18.
Oh, okay.
Starbucks. So I was like,
Oh, okay.
what do I? Yeah, thanks.
You know
Maybe
what
she was trying to give you a compliment. Maybe she was like flirting
It
with
felt
you.
very complimentary.
Okay.
Accomplice out.
But is that a compliment to tell someone? Hey, your hair looks like 90s. Very
Yeah.
90s.
Unless
I
you're
like
in the
it.
90s, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Yeah.
like 2000s is like
Yeah.
our like 90s or 80s.
Yeah.
90s.
I'm sure
like,
if I was like insecure in the moment, I would have been like, oh, that
Yeah.
hurt my feelings.
ouchie. Yeah.
But
You know
like,
what
yeah, I
I
don't
fear
know.
the most these days? Teenagers.
Mm,
Teenagers scare
middle
me.
schoolers.
Walking past teenagers, middle schoolers, I get so self-conscious.
No,
Really?
100%.
they're bullies.
If I see a
They
group
are
of, and not even sometimes they
bullies.
don't even have to say anything. I'm just
Mhm.
seeing a bunch of high schoolers or teenagers, whatever. I know I'm walking
Anxiety.
past them. I'm just saying, okay, look cool. Look, don't look at them. Don't say
Yeah,
anything. I
yeah.
get so scared because I don't want them to judge me.
They will.
They-
They're
yeah,
always in their little
they-
cliques too.
I
And
just
they're
feel like
like,
they're gonna say something funny or like
yeah.
tease me about something. Like I don't know what it is.
And you can't do anything about it.
I know, because what are you gonna do? Talk back to a bunch of
Yeah.
little kids? So
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah, that's probably one of
They're
my
the
biggest
menace
fear
these
these
days.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
not
confident in every other aspect of my life except
good. You
walk.
had long hair.
I had long hair.
Yeah.
When I was
Can we
Peace Corps, I
bring
was
up
like this.
the Men of Hawaii photo?
Yeah, I don't have a
Just-
calendar on me today. I got a couple extra because my mom bought a bunch and she gave me. I'm like, I don't know what to do with
She's
this.
handing them out to her.
So
all
I
day.
might try to sell them and donate them to a charity or
I
something.
like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Next question. People not throwing up the shaka when you let them cross the road or merge, gas or pass.
Big pass. Big
Yeah.
pass. I'll honk my horn back.
Yeah.
Bro.
I feel like
That's-
that happens a lot in my town because
Wait.
there's been like a lot of transplants in
Yeah.
Waimea that
Oh,
don't really
really?
know the rules.
When
so-
you're letting them go, do you throw the shaka first and they don't
I
shaka
let
back?
them
Or
go.
do
Oh,
they
no.
just.
So I go, say they're coming in.
Yeah.
And,
And you're just
I
there.
purposefully slow down to let them
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this person better throw up one
Mhm.
shaka.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be so annoyed with them. Because I went out of my way to let you go in.
Yeah.
If it was just
yeah.
like,
yeah.
there was a space and you went in, I
Then go.
get it.
Yeah, yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know, still, I would throw up the
I was
shaka.
halfway. I slowed down for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. You better.
When they
throw.
don't, I'm like,
Yeah.
or when like they don't even make eye contact, like
Yeah.
just
Mm.
not even an acknowledgement with the
Yeah.
eyes.
Mm.
no, I look at
Yeah,
them waiting.
looking hard
and
at
then
them.
sometimes they take a while and I'm like, and then they throw up the shaka. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. It
okay.
makes you feel good.
I'm
yeah.
so happy.
You know, you go above and beyond. You roll
Yeah.
your window down and
I do-
throw
I
it
do
out.
that-
I do
I
that
do
too.
that.
Yeah, same here.
Especially the,
window?
the cutoff going under Luna Lilo, the bridge.
Okay, Luna Lilo.
Because you know you go to war,
there
you
I
go
don't.
straight. Because I always cut left. I don't wait in that long
Right.
line.
I don't.
I always go and I cut and then I roll down my
You're
window and
the
I just throw up the
guy.
no,
shaka.
I'm the guy
That's-
because no, I'm like, oh, I'm in town. I don't want to do it. Outside, like when I go like Kahalu
Mhm.
area, like because there's that merge by Temple Valley
Yeah,
that
Mhm.
comes into the one. I'll always roll down and throw out.
yeah.
But like if I'm at that Luna Lilo freaking merge, like, oh my god, frick these guys.
I'm hugging the
I'm
bumper
the guy,
too.
yeah.
No.
But
No.
Moloka'i, bro, it's like even if you don't know who you're driving against, you know, how you're passing someone, you just throw up. Like
Yeah.
even
Oh,
if you don't
100%.
recognize the car, you're like, you probably know someone, but you just like,
I do that on like small roads. Or,
Yeah.
like in a neighborhood or
Mhm.
something.
you don't do
It's-
that
it's
here
totally
though. It's
shocking.
like it's really like unless you're in like back road
Yeah.
neighborhood.
No, shaka's always gas. No
Mhm.
matter what.
Mm.
Yeah. And even if you're crossing the road and whatever, I let you
Mhm.
go. You better.
I
Even
need-
just some sort of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
I tell people when in doubt, pinky shot and thumb out. Pinky thumb
They
out.
should just make something that you can put on your car, like one of those like bobble hula girls, just like permanent shotgun in the car.
The bus, they have this
Oh,
thing where
the-
if you let them in the back, it
has
has
a-
a shaka.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And it says mahalo.
Oh, that's cool.
It
I've
proves you
never
haven't
seen-
let someone
Nope.
in. You haven't let the bus in.
Definitely not
That's
the
how
bus.
you know.
Never seen
You know
that
how
in her
many
life.
cars?
I
No.
usually speed past buses because I don't get stuck behind them.
Yeah. You're not a saint if you let the bus in.
Yeah.
You get a shaka if you do though.
Okay, next one. Anime, gas or pass?
Oh, I don't have to pass. Just because, I mean, I get it, but I just like missed that era. I like totally just like missed that whole thing. So now I feel like too old for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pass. But I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Big gas.
Big gas. Just slammed on the gas right there.
Yeah. Pedal to the metal. Studio Ghibli. What's your favorite? You're an anime guy, right?
I'm not an anime guy. I'm a cartoon guy. So growing up, I watched a lot of cartoons, Dragon Ball Z, and the
that's
typical
anime.
Pokemon.
Was there like
Digimon,
I'm
Yu-Gi-Oh?
not going to say because I'm going to sound stupid.
Oh, well,
But-
go.
No.
No rules, no limits here.
What was that one series like Ranma or something? Was
Ranma.
there? No.
Ranma.
There's like a series of them.
Ranma?
Pretty sure it's called Ranma.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
The guy with the spiky hair.
They all have spiky
Ranma.
hair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Every Asian character has spiky hair. That's stupid, Kolby.
Kolby, that was
Shut
bad.
your
Never
mouth for the rest of
mind.
this game, all right?
My brother knows. He collected them.
Ranma.
Ranma. I can't even. It doesn't even sound
Okay.
like
I know,
something else
it's
that I
guaranteed
would.
something we know, and she's just
Yeah, that's true.
I guarantee it.
Or it's like I didn't start liking anime until like kind of recently, though. To be honest, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff, but like, all the classic anime, I didn't start watching until like a few years ago.
Yeah, Inuyasha.
I would
just
stay
stay
up
up late, Adult Swim, watch
Like,
Inuyasha.
where do you even
Naruto.
watch
Yeah.
anime? Do you just have to?
Sometimes, right now, it's on everything. Like Hulu, Netflix has all the animes.
I just downloaded Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
My brother-in-law gave me his login.
Have you watched Haikyuu yet?
No,
The volleyball
I
one?
haven't watched anything, but basically, so I moved into my new place and I just finished a bunch of TV shows. Like I finished Hard Knock, which is a football one, and then The Last of Us.
Oh, I heard
yeah,
that one's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, so I
Never
just
saw it,
finished
but-
that. So now I was looking for a new TV show to watch.
It was like anime.
And then
Goodbye
that-
to your
everybody's
life.
That
into
doesn't
anime.
even come
Goodbye
into
to your
like
life.
my feed at all.
Yeah.
Like
It's
no, yeah,
definitely-
it's just because some siblings watch it, and then I guess some of my friends, not really. I've never been into it, and but I hear everybody watching it, so I want to give it a try.
It's becoming more popular.
And it's
or, like,
becoming more
acceptable.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Like,
Before
it's
it used to
cool.
be like you're
You're closeted
Weirdo.
anime.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
So
like
what's like the thing that is it like the storylines? Is it like the visuals? Like, what's the
I
thing
think
that
the
it's
visuals, the cartoons.
What do you
so,
like
so
about
for
it?
me,
Come on,
because I'm a new anime guy.
Yeah,
I'm like a
exactly.
new
From
I'm a new anime
different
guy.
perspectives here. Yeah.
What I like about it is that the action, because I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Uh-huh.
Digimon, all these fighting stuff. So the animation is really good, and the storyline's good as well.
Mhm.
But this is probably would be different to what other people like. But I like the subtitles because it makes me focus on the TV show. Because these days
Mhm.
I got so much distractions, and
Yeah.
I'm always wanting to work.
Mhm.
So even when I'm watching other TV shows, I'm looking at my phone. I'm
Yeah,
not fully
yeah, yeah.
invested.
Yeah.
So I also got to rewind or pause it if I'm
Mhm.
doing something. But for this, I have to focus the
Yeah, you
whole
have to
time
be
and
there.
read the subtitles.
Yeah.
So it's a good escape from everything else that I'm doing, and I
Mm.
can't think about anything
Mhm.
else. So it's the same way I go surfing and I can't bring my phone. I
Yeah.
sit down, I watch anime, I read the subtitles, and I can't have any other distractions because I'm trying to focus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's a
but
good
is
break
it
for
like
me.
Yeah.
cartoons but for adults?
I think that's what it is. That's what I was thinking. It's
It's
anime
these-
animation. I think that's what it is.
You consider cartoons to be childish most of the time, right? Because
Yeah.
it's drawings and it's
Yeah.
like colorful, but like imagine this childish thing, but with like adult lessons. And like
That's true.
that's the
Mm.
best animes I like. Like Naruto is like, bro, taught me like life lessons because it's
Wow.
they're always like
That's
this
what I
real
hear.
deep emotional.
One Piece I hear is the same.
Yeah, same. Like it teach, bro. If you're a kid watching like growing up with that stuff, you become like, you
Maybe
like kind of
that's why
go
in like
gung
my
ho for
older years, like I'm absolutely like turned off from it because like it reminds me of like
it. Of your kids,
Bluey
or like
and
yeah,
Peppa Pig, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
no,
not-
like
that's
we are
not anime.
past.
It's not anime.
Past that.
very
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like these adult themes.
Okay.
High quality
Like-
cartoons.
Yeah.
In a
I would
sense.
say like yeah, for
I'll give
sure.
it a chance.
The thing
Yeah.
with subs though is like you can't just have it on if you're like washing dishes,
Mhm.
like and you're like focusing washing dishes and you have to switch and read. Like
yeah.
Mm.
that was part of I like the dub version, so like I like English for that.
Mhm.
Because then I can just like get it done. Because like throughout your day, I can't just like, it's smart that you just give your time to just your anime. But like if I'm taking a break from editing and I have to like eat food or like wash and stuff, like clean up, I'm like, I just want to kind of catch up on a show and like put on some like Naruto in the background and dub it over so I can still watch.
I know a lot of people that do that. They have it playing in the background. Like they would like a show like
that they've already seen before.
Would that
too,
be
right?
like Office, New Girl? That's like those are perfect shows. You just throw it in the background.
Yeah.
But then my stuff is podcast. So when I'm not watching, if I'm doing dishes, doing stuff around the house, I just have a podcast going
that's good.
in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, new
Big
anime
gas.
guy. Yeah, big gas.
Big pass for Kolby.
Yeah,
big anime guy right here. I watched 4 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm kind of an
We should
anime
do
guy.
a before anime picture and then after anime for you.
Week 1.
Bro, you're gonna invest some of your life into it now. Once it started,
you're gonna see my hair get spikier. So
you're gonna start doing hand signs.
yeah,
and
instead of this, I'll be like, I remember to always keep it aloha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
That's so funny. All right. So welcome back to our anime podcast here. All right. So because you two are filmmakers, movies longer than 2.5 hours, gas or pass?
It depends on the movie, but in general, I'd say pass. I'm like, no.
No, go.
No.
I'll give you your time.
I just have like my attention span is pretty short, like honestly. Unless it's like really, really, even like I watched Avatar and I was like, I can't. It's too long. Avatar was too long.
That's very Gen Z of you. I like that.
I just need it quick. Go. Let's go.
Yeah. No.
So Avengers Endgame, you just didn't sit through that.
No.
See, I'm the opposite.
So
I think, well, if you consider, I'm not going to watch every movie that's over 2.5 hours and say it's good, but the movies that have generally been pretty good in my
like
book.
Avatar and Avengers
Avatar.
Endgame.
I'm thinking like, like Christopher Nolan films, like
Yeah.
I just saw
Dark
what's
Knight,
Oppenheimer.
yeah, I saw
and they're
that.
like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
plus. Yeah, big gas for me.
Yeah.
I start like looking at my like watch in the theater.
I know
like,
plenty of
Yeah, I'm like,
Keanu's
my
the same
popcorn
way.
is
Totally
done.
fair.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really like go into, I guess, I don't know, maybe I just don't go into it thinking about, oh, it's going to be long. And then I'm surprised and I'm like, dude.
How are we still here?
Yeah, this is.
Do you watch series then?
I love series.
Yeah, because they're more. Yeah.
Yeah.
24-minute
Makes more sense.
episodes, or
Mhm.
some were like 40-minute
Yeah,
episodes.
Yeah.
like Yellowstone. I
Okay,
Like, yeah.
those are
I
like
have heard.
longer
Yeah, I've heard
ones.
those are good.
Yeah.
I tried watching Yellowstone. It was a little slow for me in the beginning, so I didn't get
It
into
took
it.
me a while to get into it. I probably watched the first episode like a few times before, but then right after that first episode, you're hooked.
Yellowstone's the robot one, right?
No.
What's the robot Western that I'm thinking of? You know what I'm talking about.
Westworld?
Westworld.
And there's one
know
more
what-
like a Korean one, I think, about something like that somebody was
Robot.
telling me about. Like Alice in one
Borderland.
Borderland.
Bro, that
yeah.
was so good.
Okay, yeah.
And
somebody was telling me
that's
to
on the
watch it.
verge of live action anime.
Okay.
Because it was written off of a manga.
Okay.
Yeah. So they converted that, or they did that into a series.
Okay.
But it started off as a book. Manga.
Cool. So I gotta.
It's
I gotta
halfway
watch.
anime
Yeah.
and like real life action. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Manga in Malagasy means blue. By the way, that's just a
Manga.
random thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to say it right anyway.
Yeah,
So
I hear people say manga.
Yeah.
My brother's been reading
I've
One
never
Piece
read.
manga
yeah.
for like 20 years
Bruh.
since the beginning. Okay. Yeah. So we'll move on.
Long game.
Podcast longer than 2
Yeah,
hours.
sorry, guys.
Gas.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I did suggestions on Instagram, I got a bunch, and then somebody just typed, "Show me your feet."
Oh no.
So, selling pics of your feet, gas or pass?
I would say pass, but then after you told me about how much money,
money.
you make,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I made $25.
Gas.
Actually, 75. I think $75. Yeah,
if there was a demand for
Yeah.
my feet, probably would
yeah.
make some
There
money.
is one. There is a demand,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
It's still a thing, right? Feet
People,
Finder?
yeah, people love it. Oh, I tried because I was so
You tried?
confident. I was so confident. That was like the New Year's thing. I was in Hilo, like during New Year's, we were telling all my friends, like, because you see the things on online that, oh
totally.
yeah, I made so much money selling my feet. So
Yeah.
I'll convince my friends, like, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make so much money, go on friend trips together.
Go on
This
friend
is so
trips.
easy. We're like at my friend's house in Honomu, like countryside, and we were just like sticking our feet out the window in front of the cows and just taking
in front of the
pictures. It was
cows.
just like so funny.
Yeah.
I remember that exact car ride up.
There's more to it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So-
you can't just send Feet.
So
it's got to be
here's my failure.
Yeah.
I joined Feet Finder and I paid the whatever it was like I don't even know, like $60.
It costs money?
Something to join. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I thought it was gonna be so easy. I think I even put it on Instagram, like help me choose a name. Like people, I was like 808 toes or like
808
toes.
And like
Bow toes.
somebody say you put bowls on your toes.
Wow.
I think I was like, I don't even remember what my name was. It's like something 808 or Hawaiian feet or I don't know, whatever.
I like
I was trying to think of a good one.
Yeah.
And then I made $0 off of it.
What?
I guess you have to like, people expect you to talk to them. And
Oh, yeah, it's a full thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I really got any traction.
You have to
or
like
whatever.
create like a character almost. Like,
Yeah. I
the
just
guy
think,
behind the feet.
yeah,
need to know a little
I
bit
think
about
I
you.
just got lucky with somebody reaching out to me asking, and then I got like instant gratification.
Yeah,
And
the
I was like, this
25.
is so easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was all downhill from there.
You got scammed, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got scammed. So I lost money.
Scammed by
but
Feet Finder.
Yeah, now I'm on to bigger and better things.
Hands.
Hands,
Yeah, hand stuff. That's funny.
But I'm not afraid to try whatever.
Hey, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wavestorm surfboards, gas or pass?
Ooh. I learned on a wave storm, so gas.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had time, for sure, guys.
And you can just ding them around.
sure.
You
Yeah.
can mess them
Yeah,
up.
return them at
Return it
Costco.
and get
Yeah,
another one.
exactly.
Yeah. Absolute gas. Who
I
says
actually-
pass on
I
that?
actually saw somebody returning one before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
After
Half
it was all
broken in
after it was all
yeah.
dinged up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually when you see somebody on a wavestorm, it's either they're kooks or they're ripping.
There's yeah. I
Yeah.
was like the best guys I know are
Yeah.
yeah.
When you can rip on a wavestorm, I love that. Seen the uncles do that at bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Convertibles, gas or pass?
Yeah, I'd say gas. Nothing wrong with
Okay, you
one.
can think about it.
I know.
I think it's more the question like, would you do it? So I would say pass. I'm not a convertible guy.
Well, it depends on where you are. Like if you're just riding around Pahala.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I don't
cool.
know.
So
I-
but something about
like-
it feels not to me.
It's a pass for me. 'Cause when
Yeah.
I think of convertible, I think of the red convertible.
Tourists, right? Like and
Tourists,
the
yeah.
Ford Mustang,
Mustangs, yeah.
convertible Mustang. That's
Yeah.
I think that's
but
the
have
thing.
you ever been in one? It's really
I don't
fun.
know if I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
I've ridden
Just
a
I mean,
moped. Is that the same?
Yeah.
Ridden-
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little slower.
yeah,
It
I
does
don't know.
mess your hair a little bit.
Yeah. And then if it
Might not-
rains, you gotta like
Oh, yeah.
take
Put
the
the
time.
thing on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, we got 50-50 split here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, living in a small town, gas or pass?
Definitely gas. I
Gas.
will move back to. I mean, I live in a small
Mhm.
town.
Yeah.
It's not as small as where I'm from, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's the only way to go. Especially raising kids, which
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
the only one who's going to be raising.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, small town for sure.
As
gas,
opposed to big city, yes, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I like living in the town right now too, because it's for the convenience sake.
Yeah.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely. I like being a little away
Did-
from everything.
Did you live well, other than Madagascar, you were in Spain. Did you like do any of like the continental? You know,
I
like,
just traveled, but never.
you never lived.
Only Spain, Argentina, and Madagascar.
Mm.
That's all.
It's probably because you go home a lot that you don't mind the city.
Yeah,
But
it's
if
a
you,
nice
Yeah.
escape. Like I
Yeah.
was just on Big Island last week.
yeah.
Yeah, and the week before. So yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of that, Waikiki, gas or pass?
Mm. Big pass for me. I mean, It's when it has its moments, but like
I was just in Waikiki this past weekend.
once a month for me,
Yeah.
maybe less. Once every other.
Yeah. When we stay in Waikiki, like we don't go exploring. Like we were just like there for the hotel and
Mhm.
like out. Yeah.
Is Aloha
no.
considered Waikiki?
No.
No, because like the surf breaks, like Kaiser's is like on the.
Yeah, I would say more all in one.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, no.
Okay. I was thinking about this. I was thinking Waikiki, gas, the people, like the tourists, pass.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
'Cause I
surf
think-
in Waikiki is pretty.
Yeah,
I think
amazing.
that's
good.
what
Yeah.
throws us, or I guess makes us not like it is
Yeah.
because of the tourists and
Tourists
how
and-
crowded it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
But if it wasn't all of that, there's a lot of good food places,
Uh-huh.
a lot of cool places to go, and
Yeah,
then
that's
the
fair.
beaches are awesome.
Yeah.
But it's just the crowds that turn us off.
yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The place, gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people,
The
pass.
crowds.
All right,
Yeah.
I added this when because when we started the podcast, middle seat, gas or pass?
Who's gonna gas on the middle seat? I guess.
Nah, in this
some
situation,
people.
I'm fine.
Nainoa
now.
has the middle seat. That's why.
yeah.
know.
We called it something else earlier.
Yeah.
I won't say it.
Say it.
The bitch seat.
Okay, these questions come from these suggestions come from Instagram, right? Organic Jungle Man says farming, gas or pass?
Wait, repeat that?
Farming. Organic
Jungle
Man. This is the handle.
okay.
This
I
is
was
the
like-
handle.
I was like, what
Yeah.
is this question you're telling me? Organic farming jungle.
Yeah.
Oh, farming?
Farming, gas or pass?
Gas when I can.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to have a farm. Yeah,
Mm,
that'd be
yeah.
so cool. I don't know how. I can't keep like a single plant alive in my house.
Mhm.
Because you're
but
keeping
I
two
feel-
kids and a dog alive.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, the plants are
Even
babies.
like
Yeah.
You gotta
succulents
care
die. I
for
thought those
plants.
things last forever, but my
No.
succulents die too.
Oh.
But yeah,
Why
like,
you
I
kill
feel-
us
I was gonna
succulents?
say, yeah, aren't succulents like
Jeez.
It's
self-sustaining?
a gift. It's a gift that I have. This
Nice.
black thumb.
Yeah.
But I feel like a farm would be different. It's something that you
Mm.
could do at your like whole ohana. Like I
Yeah,
don't
have a
know.
little,
Sure.
little settlement.
The upkeep of a farm seems like a lot,
You got, yeah.
but
Yeah, we'd have to have one of those like plants that don't need a lot
mhm.
of care.
yeah,
Like
for
half an
sure.
acre, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's even big. An acre is actually a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really big. Yeah. I also don't feel like I have the technical know-how,
Yeah.
but I
Not
like the
yet.
idea of it.
Yeah. The idea of farming, gas.
Yeah,
Gas.
Me doing all the
Actually
work.
farming?
fast.
Sorry.
Actually-
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. I think
Actually,
at some
Peter
point,
has like a degree in ag that he's
Wow.
never put to use. So
Put them
Wow.
just put
Put 'em
Peter
to
in
work.
charge of
Yeah,
our
yeah,
farms.
yeah. That's a good
Okay.
way to do it.
Miss Kona Coffee 2023. That's the handle.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Says Monago's
Gas
pork
or
chop.
pass?
Monago's
Monago's-
pork chop.
Oh, gas. Have you ever
I
had
don't
that?
even. I don't know if
what
I've
that
had
is either, but I
Monagos. Where is
figured
this? Is
maybe
this
you know.
in?
In Kona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They got like a James Beard, I think,
Really?
for like,
What's a
there's a
James-
category.
It's like one of those like Michelin star kind of
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
It's like
James
one of,
Beard.
yeah, but that's like super prestigious to have a James Beard.
More than a
they
Michelin?
grew a beard.
yeah.
This
Grew
guy
a
James.
beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grew a
He
beard over
left
there.
his beard there. He cut it off, and then. So wait, is that higher than a Michelin, or like what's like?
I don't know. It's just different. I mean, they get awarded by like region, and then you get like Fett won
Oh.
James Beard Award. Robin Ma'i won a James Beard Award. Like
I don't know these
prestigious.
people. Are they,
Yeah, well, we
are they
need to take
famous
you-
chefs then, or something?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
uncultured
Yeah.
in the chef world.
Even Bar Leather Apron, they got a James Beard Award for like a beverage place. Like
Hmm.
very to get one of those.
She's in the
awards.
know.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say.
But
It
anyway.
seems like a pretty wide.
Yeah.
It must not be that prestigious. No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
joking.
No,
I'm joking.
it's kind of like getting an Emmy for us or something like that.
Okay.
It is a big
Mm.
deal. It's a big
Okay,
deal.
okay. As opposed to an
Cool.
Oscar,
Yeah.
because an Emmy's under an Oscar.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well,
Michelin's
I
the
don't know.
Oscar?
Maybe Michelin's the
Okay.
Oscar.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for the tangent.
No, this is good. It's good to know.
But
So I
100%,
gotta
if
try
you haven't
Monago's
had the pork chop.
Okay.
Monago.
I heard of
Yeah.
Monagos.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've been there. Or maybe I have when I was young. I don't know. I gotta ask my parents.
Hmm.
Okay. Shoyu on rice, gas or pass?
Gas. Big gas. Well, Aloha show you only though.
Aloha. Nice. Good call.
Not a
I've
Kiko
never
man.
been a shoyu on rice person. I've done ketchup on rice.
What?
Is that
Yeah,
bad?
ketchup. No, no,
Wait,
okay.
Ketchup just on rice? Not like egg or
No, just on the
On
rice.
everything.
On
Just ketchup on rice?
Yes. Like lao lao and rice, ketchup on all of it.
Okay, so to me, I feel like you're putting the ketchup, on the lao lao and eating
No, I've heard
it
of
with
that
the
before.
rice.
Yeah. I've heard of the ketchup on lala before, but
So
like
good.
ketchup
Yeah.
on rice was
I like switched to sriracha actually. So
Mm.
now it's like sriracha on the lao lao and on the rice. Try it.
wow.
It's a thing.
Okay,
That
I'm
sounds-
not a spice person. I'm also not
Yes.
a shoyu on rice guy. I'm a
Mm.
furikake on rice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I'm
Yeah.
furikake and show you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The double, but then it makes it all the furikake can't
no,
stick.
no, I feel like they all add to it.
Yes.
Do you put sugar on your poi too?
this
Yeah.
Moloka'i boy.
You know what? I'm not gonna knock it. You
No
guys do it.
comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one comes from Miss Kona, or last one from Miss Kona Coffee 2023. Using a spoon to eat. Gas or pass?
Gas. My grandma did that and it made it, I swear it makes the food taste
Like a
better.
spoon for everything.
Yeah.
No.
I was just thinking spoon over fork, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm pretty sure it's like a Filipino thing.
you could eat more with the spoon. It's probably more efficient, but like it just doesn't feel right for some reason.
Depending on what you're eating, I
Like
guess,
steak
too.
with a spoon.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Steak with a spoon is hard.
You gotta stab the steak.
But like lala and rice
Yeah.
with a spoon
Yeah,
works.
I like having a spoon.
or like
Yeah.
a gas spoon.
a spork.
a
Spork is the middle
The
ground.
middle
you know?
ground.
Yeah.
Like all things in life.
Yeah.
it's
You know
for
what they
the-
gotta do? Because sometimes having chopsticks helps with picking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm.
should. The ultimate invention would be a spork with the,
Spork
and the,
with the-
and the end is you can kind of separate it, or maybe like a magnet.
Or like a.
And
What if
then
it's
you-
one side spork, the other side chopstick?
exactly. But then you can split it so that you can use it.
Oh, and
a
then the
chopstick.
magnet
okay.
is
Yeah,
magnetized.
so
and
when
you
it
can-
comes together, it's a spork.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you would have a half spork on one side and the other, or
Yeah.
like.
But
like
that's why you need the magnet to, or Velcro or something
Yeah.
to connect it.
You know what I have seen? I've seen a spork with the knife serrated on the side.
Oh,
So it had all three.
yeah.
I was like,
I've seen that before.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
A spork
Like a
with the
reusable
knife, like
thing.
on the
So
handle
the spork
part?
is like this. No, on the edge where you have the spoon edge.
Oh.
It's like serrated, so it's a
Wow.
knife.
Oh no, I've never seen
Wow.
it like that.
Yeah, bro. I was like, this is kind of cool. But then I realized if you like drag it on the side of your mouth,
Yeah.
you might just cut your mouth open.
Totally.
You eating ketchup with rice. You
yeah.
pull out. You realize you didn't eat ketchup.
It's
with
not
rice.
ketchup, it's your blood. It's your blood on your
Blood.
rice.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't know about that invention.
All right. Next question comes from Insta_Graham_Reagan. He says the children's movie franchise Madagascar, gas or pass?
Big gas.
The children's movie Madagascar. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Big
I like
gas.
to move it one.
I can
Yeah.
quote that so like
Really?
I mean I used to be able to quote like almost the whole thing for like the first two. But I
Mhm.
know like very like iconic lines from
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
Super good. Is
So good.
Madagascar anything like those
No.
movies?
No, but they do like to move it, I will say. But they don't have any of those animals
the
besides
lemurs.
the lemurs.
Yeah.
But this guy, Graham, shout out to him. He was in Madagascar with me. He actually went
Oh.
back to do a job in there, in Madagascar. So he lives in Madagascar.
Wow, how
now.
Oh,
sick.
cool.
Good for him.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
He
Guys-
lives there now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some people get jobs over there after and
Nice.
move back.
Mhm.
Yeah. So hopefully I get to see him one day.
I'll say the first two Madagascar are best, but like after three, no.
I don't remember them.
Yeah,
but
I don't
think I
watched
watched
past-
the first one again, and I
Yeah.
realized that I see where the misconception is because they crash land in
In
Madagascar,
yeah.
but they're from the New York Zoo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why there's not actually those animals there.
Exactly,
It's just
yeah.
the lemurs.
Yeah, and that's why the lemur, like King Julian, they're
Yeah.
already there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so iconic. So good.
Okay, and last question comes from Jerry_Salamante. Black house slippers to a formal/fashion occasion.
Well, for you, it's gas.
Hey, you see, you guys know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gassed on that too.
Oh, hell no. No.
What's the difference between house slippers and outside slippers?
No, like the kind you slip on.
Oh, just like
Like
local.
the kind of hotels you can get.
The furry kind
Oh, wait. They're very different things.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like regular slippers.
no.
Like,
that you
I
wear
went to
in the house.
the Hawaii swim show last year, and it was a black tie formal event, and I wore house slippers because I wanted to wear slippers. I didn't want to wear shoes, so
You
I found
found
these
the-
black house slippers at my
Mm.
brother's house in Hilo.
But you could have been like, this is like a fashion
Were they
statement.
That's
Gucci?
exactly what it was. No,
don't
Yeah.
Gucci make those
the
kind of
kind
clothes?
you probably get at a hotel. And I was like,
Says
fashion.
Says
Yeah, you can
Hilton
rock it.
Hawaiian
Yeah.
Village on it.
Absolutely. It's all about how you wear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
So,
fashion.
Yeah.
They all said gas. Move on.
Yeah. Big
All right.
gas.
Well, mahalo everybody for those awesome suggestions, and mahalo to our guests for playing the fun game Gas or Pass
That was
presented
fun.
by Texaco in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to the back end of the podcast, and I like to ask my guests when they come on, what does keep it aloha mean to them? You know, how in your life do you keep it aloha?
For me, I think it's like, I think of it as like service, to like your family or your friends or your, I don't know, service is a weird word, I guess, to use with like your family and friends because you think of it as like more community. But like, I do think that like I love to serve my family and I love to serve my friends and like be there for them and my community. So when I am doing that, I feel like I am like showing aloha by doing that. And that can be like, as like right now I'm like coaching my little girls volleyball team, and You know, it's like something small that I can do that's like helpful to the community, and I can share my love for volleyball. It could be in any way that you show aloha, you know. But I think thinking of it as service is like changes. I think it's very like purposeful, I guess.
Community
service.
Yeah.
Combine it. How do you have time to coach volleyball? That's my big question.
You played, right? You played in college?
I played for a year. Yeah. But I love volleyball. It's like, it isn't even, I just love to do it.
Oh, okay.
So
you make time
I
for
make
football.
time.
She makes time
That's
for
true. That's
volleyball.
true.
You make
That's
time
the
for the
thing
things
about
that you love.
busy people, you know, like as busy as you are,
Yeah.
you can make time
make
for the
time.
things that that are important.
Yeah. It's all about like prioritizing.
Yeah.
Prioritizing what's important to you.
Yeah.
I'm also like volunteers to be the class mom. Like, yeah. So that's where, I don't know. I'm like loving like the mom life right now.
Yeah. You should see her like Instagram stories. She'll like full on prepare like crazy like extravagant lunches and like
I love making
for
those
everyone,
lunches.
not just like her kids, but like a bunch of like all the kids.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I've always wanted to be a mom, and so I've like always wanted to be a filmmaker. There's all these things I've always wanted to do. So there's only so many hours in a day, but yeah, you prioritize things that are important.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think keeping it aloha is like being considerate and not being a kook. Because I mean, like I guess the biggest thing that came to mind was like just my day-to-day operation of just like, you know, living here on Oahu, like being where I'm from, like you have, or just like be proud of it, and like also like you kind of represent in a way. So like when you're in Hawaii, like do as Hawaii people do, like, you know, and that's part of this, like kind of being considerate of other people. And so like when I'm driving, that's, I don't know, for some reason you said keep it aloha, and we've been talking about the shakas this whole time. It's like,
let them in.
I am a nice driver. Like I will say like Oahu's crazy drivers, but
totally.
You can ask my fiance, like I'll slow down. I will like go speed limit. I'm not in like crazy rush. Not that that's keeping it aloha, but like,
no, in a sense that is.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm considerate of other people. I'm trying to like think of other people on the road, other people that I interact with.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, and I feel like I carry that like even when I travel and stuff. So,
yeah,
that's always like in the back of my head.
Yeah, I'm telling myself to keep it aloha when somebody merges in and doesn't throw up the shaka. I have to tell myself.
That's me sometimes.
Keep
I'm
it aloha.
sorry.
Yeah, that's, I swear. What kind of car you drive? I swear. Were you on Luna Lilo Freeway yesterday?
No. Wait, guess what's the most typical like truck on the island? That's, I don't know.
He drives a Toyota Tacoma.
White,
what color?
Yeah,
exactly.
White Toyota Tacoma.
Tacoma.
You hate me, don't you?
Lift.
No lift on it. Yeah.
Okay, this guy from Moloka'i.
I'm pretty frugal. Yeah.
This guy, I'm a kiki boy already.
I think lifts are lifts are another story that I
lifts,
think
gas or bass.
Pass.
You heard that? No, West Side Bangers, get him.
Yeah. If you see an unlifted white Tacoma, yeah,
that's nice.
License plate.
Shit. Yeah, send me out there.
All right. Oh, so something I wanted to talk about, because we were talking about it during our shishi break, and we weren't planning to talk about it, but I think it's super important to talk about.
Yeah,
is the idea of just because you look Hawaiian, people just assume that you're Hawaiian.
And when your name is Nainoa,
you just assume you're, and that's what I did.
Or when you're from Moloka'i.
Yeah, I introduced the both of you as two native Hawaiian filmmakers, and I was like, I'm actually not Hawaiian.
Yeah, I was like, where's the polite way to like say it? Because I don't really talk about it, right?
Yeah,
it's again like I'm considered. I'm like not trying to interrupt.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, that's. I mean, in your defense, the cards were stacked against you. Like, my name's Nainoa, from Moloka'i. Like, I kind of look like it. Yeah, so
you look more Hawaiian than me.
Yeah, no.
If we're just judging based off love. Yeah.
No. I mean, and that's the other thing is like, because of course being in Hawaii is like there's always. I mean, we spoke on the panel at the Liliuokalani Trust, like where it's just all native Hawaiian kids speaking Hawaiian, and I'm up there like, yeah, my name's Nainoa. Like it's just like in the back of my head, like, yeah, everyone assumes I'm like Hawaiian, and I mean, it's just like, how do I bring that up sometimes? It's always been a little battle I've had in my head of like, I don't claim it, I try not to. I definitely won't say it if like someone asks, but like, say for this instance, like the podcast was like, yeah, Native Hawaiian filmmaker. I'm like,
Yeah.
But you feel like you need to correct people.
yeah, it's a weird thing I have, I think, of like, because it's so, I revere, like, obviously, like, I love the culture, like, I love growing up here, but like, I don't want to, it feels like imposter to be like, hey, I didn't choose my name, but like, where I grew up and all that stuff, how I look. It's a weird thing that I guess is an insecurity of mine /
And on Moloka'i, or Molokai, probably everybody was Hawaiian there. Or
Yeah.
a lot of people, percentage, right?
Yeah.
Because when I went back there just recently, they're like, oh yeah, I'm full Hawaiian. Like so many full Hawaiian or like half Hawaiian.
And I bet if anyone from there is listening right now, they'd be like, bro, I know it's like not Hawaiian. I don't know if you grew up with me or something. But it's like, my mom is full Filipino. My dad's Hayley, like, German, Caucasian, just in general. So when they were growing up on Molokai, like they got those like kind of, bullied, for lack of a better term. Like they didn't have the easiest time growing up. So like they gave me and my sisters all Hawaiian names in hopes to like not make us go through that kind of stuff, which is a kind of way of reverse like engineering, because I feel like I would have maybe been different if I wasn't as accepted in a way. But it definitely helped to just have that mix, like.
But people that you grew up with, do you think they thought you were Hawaiian?
Yeah, I think so. Most of the time.
100%. I mean, you look the part. And like you said, you're from Molokai, where majority of the people I know there are Hawaiian.
So it's hard, even when like I drop like, oh yeah, I'm from Molokai. Like that's like the buzz. You're like, this guy's got to be Hawaiian. Like he's got to be like deep in the culture. And I'm like, sorry. I'm just like, I grew up playing sports and, it's not really... I can't claim it, I can claim Molokai because I love that. I'm born and raised, but
that's your home. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy because we've talked on the podcast about people who, like a Kelly Boy Delima, who is Hawaiian but doesn't look Hawaiian at all.
Yeah.
And he used to get bullied for that.
Side,
but you aren't Hawaiian, but you look Hawaiian, so everybody assumes you're Hawaiian, and you didn't have a problem with it at all. But now you're at the point where you feel insecure about it because you're like, it's almost like you're living a lie, right?
To claim it is like another thing, right? Because like I'm not gonna lie, it kind of helps to like look kind of like conspicuous. Where like, because traveling, I'll say like, I won't say I'm from the US. I'll be like, oh, I'm from Hawaii.
Exactly.
I won't say I'm Hawaiian, but like I'll say, oh, I'm from Hawaii, and it like totally changes how they kind of interact with you, and like you kind of get this. Not that I want to claim that benefit for myself, but it's never hurt.
Oh, 100%.
So it's like, and
I
even,
say I'm not American or I'm from America. I'm saying I'm from Hawaii, and they love that. Everybody loves it.
I mean, it's tough. But then even being out in like a lineup, you're surfing like in town somewhere. Like I'm not saying it, but like you look it. So you kind of like you get the
give me that card 100 out of 100 times.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where like the whole insecurity kind of comes from it too. But
local.
Yeah, local.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think we're at the point where we're realizing like Hawaiian by blood is just whatever. People don't really care about it. But it's just interesting that
it is
total like I wouldn't get. But there are a lot of people who look Hawaiian, and I found out that they're not Hawaiian. But then that doesn't change my perception of them at all.
Yeah.
It's just more like oh wow, and then you get on with the rest of your day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Isn't
but
that
I don't think
crazy?
you're doing anything bad, like wrong.
You're not trying to claim it.
No, you know what? There's like a little faction. I'm not saying like the PC culture or anything, but like to claim like, to not correct when someone tells you is like almost as bad as you saying you are. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's
that.
And that's when the case comes up of like, I wanted to stop and correct, but then in how many instances is this gonna happen? And do I have to immediately
Every
be like,
time.
no. Like, sorry, I'm not Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So I, again, trying to be considerate, I'm like, if it comes up, I'll never lie about it. I'll never like go out of my way to like, hey, I'm not. But there's like I think there's a bit of a weird, especially in this like day and age with social media and like the PC stuff. It's like, if you don't correct. And if you try to like keep it going because someone says, and it's like, oh, you're just as bad as saying you are.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to.
Well, that's why I keep in considerate when people always tell me how awesome I am. I don't try to correct them. I just let them go. Yeah, I'm just being considerate.
Yeah, you gotta receive.
Yeah, I gotta just respect their decision. You know,
receive that.
That's
Yeah.
so
But
interesting. Did you have anything like that, Kolby?
Not really. I mean, I'm a quarter Hawaiian, like blood Hawaiian, I guess. But even growing up in Ka'u, there's a lot of like full Hawaiians and half Hawaiians, and a quarter seemed like really little bit. I was like almost ashamed to be only a quarter Hawaiian. And then only when I came like to Oahu, people were like, wow, a quarter is a lot. I'm like, I never thought that. I never thought a quarter was a lot. Yeah, but if you look at my kids, I mean, Casey's brown, but
Haley pulls
but
the
Haley's
other side.
pretty white. I mean,
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, but she's a 8th Hawaiian. You would never think that. And they go to HPA.
They're probably the most Hawaiian kids over there.
Yeah. But she is probably one of the brownest people at that school. So she's representing.
Yeah.
It is interesting how the color of your skin is almost like it puts you on this like higher level in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, you're
For
like
sure.
the hierarchy of like if you're in the water, you're tanner.
Exactly. Yeah.
People are gonna respect you just because the color of your skin.
I know guys from like Arizona who were like tan and looked the part completely, and like I've known them for several years and be like, bro, you're not Hawaiian. You figure out like, oh my gosh, this guy's completely from like Idaho or something.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It happens.
Yeah, I still go through that to this day. I always want to be tanner so I look more Hawaiian.
Yeah. What are you? I mean,
I'm like 15 to 20% maybe. I don't know the exact percentage, but I know less than a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you were talking about earlier, like it doesn't matter, or I mean, like, what's your thoughts on
all
like,
the conversations I've had with guests over here? Blood quantum is a thing that they created to to like stir up division and
absolutely,
stuff like that. So now I don't really believe in blood quantum. I still wouldn't say like just because you live here you're Hawaiian.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot. It's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to look and being Hawaiian and who you are as a person, I think like the character depends. That matters so much more because I know people who are Hawaiian and they don't do anything for the lahui or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Or people who aren't Hawaiian who do so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to name drop people, but it's totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one person I do want to name drop is like Mark Noguchi.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, he's as Asian as you get, but
Yeah.
but that guy, I just feel like if there was such thing as like an honorary Hawaiian, or I don't, because I don't know people. I know people don't like Hawaiian at heart.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like an honorary Hawaiian or something like.
He's the most.
Him and Amanda.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right.
There's some of the most. Yeah, they're some of the most Hawaiian people.
Yeah, just through their values, the way they live their life, and that's what I'm talking about. And it has nothing to do with blood or how they look. It's just how they live.
Yeah.
And just the way they live, I feel like is such a Hawaiian way of living.
Yeah.
The way they treat others, how welcoming they are. All the things they do for their community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Love them.
So if anybody ever wants to have the debate or be like, oh yeah, the Hawaiian debate, then I'll just bring up all these things. And I've learned so much just from talking to these people and help me kind of come to my own conclusions on things and help me with understand myself better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just feel like as insecure as I would get about my Hawaiianness, because I don't go in the lo'i and do like, I'm not a hunter or a fisher or whatever. I never grew up like that.
Yeah.
I just grew up playing sports.
Yeah.
I always had the language.
Yeah.
So that was like
yeah.
So even if I don't look Hawaiian or you don't think I'm Hawaiian, I can just olelo. And like that would always be my default. Like,
for sure.
Oh yeah, come. You don't think I'm Hawaiian? Okay, let's olelo fight and let's see how Hawaiian you are. Which is bad. It's
in a way.
But
yeah,
I guess that's how I would cope with it. Yeah,
that's good.
It would help me sleep at night. That's good.
Yeah. It's fair enough. That's good.
Yeah. So so we'll move on from this. But mahalo for sharing.
Yeah.
As business entrepreneurs, you're both, filmmakers, but you run successful businesses and it's part of the whole entrepreneurial journey. What would be some advice that you would give to people to get them started on finding their passion, creating a business, just all those things?
In filmmaking specifically, or just any?
All of it. Yeah, just
all
like,
of it? Okay.
yeah, however you want to tie it in together.
I think just start. When you're talking about like starting a business or a project, I think just starting, just like taking that first step is just doing it. Because a lot of people have lots of ideas and lots of people have things that they want to do in the future and the timing is never right, you know? But I think if you have an idea or a passion or want to start something, just start and then kind of like figure it out as you go. But just put...
Yeah, it's good.
Shout it out, put it out in the universe, and then you got to do them.
Start
exactly.
where you are with what you have.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I know it'll all come together.
I think for me, I'll share a little of my story because it was very like unconventional. So I worked after high school, I didn't go to school. I moved over here to Oahu to basically just go to work and like, you know, try to make a living for myself. And I worked in fishing supply warehouses. I worked at Queen's Hospital for a little bit. I worked at like some food stores. And this was all before I ever like even had an idea of filmmaking or was like even on my radar. So when I first picked up, like I started with a GoPro and stuff. And like, you know, I think we talked about this earlier. It's like we started with that era of making those cool videos. And like, I would start doing it because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like actually something I'm excited to do. I'm like passionate about. I'm kind of good at it. People kind of like think I do a good job at this. And I was working at Queens at the time. So two very polar, like opposite things of like, one's very creative, one's very just like robotic, do clock in, clock out, which nothing's wrong with again. But if I put myself back in that place of like where I was at Queens and the thoughts that would go through my head of like, oh man, like there's more to it. There's like, I have this thing that I want to do, but I'm like, I need to take care of my livelihood too, because I don't know how to turn it into a business. You know, I just enjoy taking photos and making videos. We talked about earlier how like, if you didn't do the things that you did, you wouldn't be where you are. I completely just like quit my job with zero like cushion behind me. Like I had no savings. I didn't give like an F about what like I was really gonna do after. I was just like, like there's a lane here. And even though I don't have anything like set up or foundation, I'm gonna go because it's still better than like just I was like hating where I was at, you know? So that kind of pushed me too. But it was scary, you know, it was like so scary just like leaving something that's providing for myself, like is paying for my bills. You know, it basically is just like supporting my livelihood. I'm gonna give this up for a chance just because I like to do it. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it and figure it out as I go. Like you said, I started with like what I had and where I was, and it didn't work out for a while. You know, it was like still like a pretty big struggle. But then, I think even after going through like all those struggles, like again, it makes me like more hardened almost in a way. Like I'm callous now to like, bro, I've been through like broke, like, and still trying to make this all happen. So like, I mean, it's really not that scary is like what I want to say. Cause like you can be very afraid to ever start, but like once you kind of get over the hump, it's like, oh, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Like,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's how I felt after finishing the Peace Corps in Madagascar, thinking everything after this is going to be easy.
Yeah, cake.
Not easy as in like I'm not going to struggle, but I know that I can get through it because the struggle that I had to get through to get where I'm at mentally, physically sometimes. But yeah, I feel like that fear gene just went away after I did that.
You're more like, you're more hardened to risk almost because it's like, I can get through it.
You don't fear failure anymore.
Yeah.
And you know that if you do, you'll bounce right back up.
Exactly.
You know, because like you said, you've been at the bottom.
You've already been at the bottom.
So it's like, okay, I know what it's like here and I know how to get back out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think people can relate to that in a lot of different aspects in life, you know, career, relationship, sports, you know,
Yeah.
all of that.
It's just life, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you do it again?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Same way?
I'm claiming that. No,
Yeah.
but like I definitely should have done it a little bit smarter.
Mm.
But it's like, again, I wouldn't have the like mental fortitude that I have. I wouldn't have like the resilience I feel like I have now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the people I wouldn't like, it would have been totally different. So
Yeah.
like, yes, I would do it again.
The journey is the destination.
Mhm.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So
One of our favorite quotes that we always talk about is from one of our past guests, Kalehua Krug. He said, "You don't go into the forest to become a tree. You know, it's
Oh,
just,
that's
it's
good.
just you go there.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the journey, or
Yeah.
you just to have peace, or just to whatever it is you're looking for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
that's what it is.
That's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. All right. Well, so what is something that you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Kind of not No.
Stop calling me Hawaii.
No. Yeah. What would you say? I gotta think on
That's
that
a good one.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to think of something for you that people might not know about you.
Oh, we could do
you
that
could
for
do
each
that.
other.
Yeah,
you could
that'd
do
be
that. That'd be
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people would know this already, but I think people see Nai as like this major, like influential creator, which you are, because people are like, "Whoa!" Like the amount of people who follow you, and like
You're like
the things that you
250,000 or something.
No.
At least
in the
200.
100, like
Oh my God.
above 100. You know?
Who's
Something.
keeping track?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with all your
No.
platforms,
yeah.
Oh,
no,
combined?
probably more.
Oh, I've never
really.
actually. Yeah, probably around like a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so like he's a big deal, and like of all ages too. Like I'll go and talk to kids in high school, and they're like, "You know, Nainoa Langer," but and you're like amazing at what you do. Probably one of the most talented people, honestly, that I know, because it's not just like the creating of image, the visuals, like it's like the music, and I feel like you would teach yourself how to do anything. Honestly, it's video
Thank
and
you.
music, but it could be anything that you put your mind to. It's just like one of those irritating people that is just good at everything is him. But I think
I received that.
claim
I'm
it.
getting better at receiving.
But I think people, because I get to work with you and see you interacting with people, I think what people might not know about Nai is that he's also like such a good person. The way that you like treat people, it's you're like that you show like courtesy and aloha to people that you meet on set and that you interact with, you know? So I think, and I have seen people like be surprised at like how nice you are and just like how considerate you are of people. So I get to see that, and I like really admire that about you.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Just a
Thank you,
good guy.
Kolby. Yeah.
Oh,
No, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at receiving.
follow that.
Because
up,
sometimes
boy.
I'll try to deflect and like, that's a
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
right? I mean, like
Yeah.
a lot of people, but
Mhm.
like,
Hawaii
I'm
thing.
notorious for like,
Humble.
no. Like, don't.
Too
Yeah.
humble.
So I'm trying
Yeah.
to practice like,
Just say thanks.
yeah, say thank you.
Mhm.
Like, seriously. But
Yeah.
I feel, especially after knowing you for, a few years now, working together, but also like you're my friend. Like, I love you guys, Peter, like
Mhm.
all the girls and stuff. Like, I think outside looking in, people see like boss lady, right?
babe.
You're kind of, you're
So over
voted-
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, like you're fiercely loyal and like you look out for pretty much anyone that like comes into your life. So like for me, I've always felt like taken care of.
Mhm.
Not like, I feel like that's kind of like a motherly thing, but also just
Yeah.
like in a friendship way. Like you've always like kind of cared. And you also get stuff done. Like you just, if it needs to happen, it gets done. And like I've always
No
admired
time.
that about
Yeah.
you. So for people who don't know Kolby, under the surface, I feel like you just really like go above and beyond for people that you know.
Your
Aw,
boss would be like, "Hey,
sweet.
Yeah.
get this done. You want a sandwich?"
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like
yeah.
she's like the kind, that's Kolby for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. I try.
yeah.
It's also the Scorpio in me, I think.
Oh, there we go.
There we
That's
go.
both
Thank you. Can
sides.
we? Yeah.
There we go.
Mm.
All right. Are you into that stuff?
Kind
She
of.
is.
Yeah.
I saw,
No,
I
I mean,
saw-
what are you?
I
What are
saw
you?
the-
What's your
I'm
sign?
Aries.
You're an Aries.
I'm an Aries.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I'm a Capri Sun.
Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Capri Sun.
Yeah, Pacific.
No,
Cooler,
I'm
yeah.
joking. I'm Gemini. But like, I heard
Yeah.
a joke. I was like, oh, you're born in September. You're a Capri Sun.
That's funny. I saw this. One of the funniest memes I saw. It said that men let a football game determine the whole mood for their day, and then it said women let the moon or like these moon signs determine the future or something like that.
Dude, when Mercury's in retrograde.
Mercury's in the
so,
microwave.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
that's good.
So what is the future plans for the both of you? Where do you go from here? What's your 5, 10, 20 year goal?
Mm.
I just want to keep making good stuff.
Yeah.
Just purposeful things, videos.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we love creating, so I think we'll always create, but with purpose,
Mhm.
for sure.
That was the wording I was going to use. I was going to say, like, I just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, there's a concept from someone I like listen to. His name's Simon Sinek, but he
Yeah.
talks about the infinite game, right? Where it's like, it's different from sports because you have a set goal of like, oh, once we finish this time, person with the highest score, they win. But in like life and in our careers, there's no end, and there's no scoreboard. So like the game, the goal of the game is to just keep playing. So the further I can not have to, go back to a regular job to like, just be winning at what I'm doing. It's like, that's the goal. Yeah.
Awesome. Be an active player in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like One Piece, just never end.
Yeah. Just keep going forever.
That's what I heard there. My brother's like, I might just die
Yeah,
and
never-
never know how this show
Dude.
ends because it's been going on for so long.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Bro, it was like
What
a
show
kid's-
is that?
it's a show called One Piece,
One
Mhm.
Piece.
which is a really popular anime, but they just
Okay.
made a live action version of it.
I saw.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
any good? Have you seen it?
I was in Waikoloa for the Hawaii swim show during that time,
Mm.
and my brother-in-law and I don't know who else was around. They started watching it, and it looks kind of corny, but I heard it's good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been weary of like cartoons being made into live
Live action
action because it's all the time. It's very
Yeah, like the Last
Avatar.
Airbender
Yeah,
one.
dude.
But they're making a new one on Netflix, which
Yeah.
Netflix does it right. So
They do.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
that it's gonna be good, and they casted appropriately.
Yeah.
Daniel Day
yeah.
Kim's gonna be in it.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
the
like Fire Lord?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So hopefully I can talk stories with him, so we can just talk about Avatar.
Yeah, bro.
I want to get Dante Bosco
Yeah.
on too.
Oh,
He's
sick.
Zuko,
That'd
voice of Zuko.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Do you know Avatar:
No.
Last
Dante
Airbender?
Bosco.
No.
So.
Okay.
He's Rufio. Rufio in
Rufio from Peter Pan.
from
Or
Hook.
Hook,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's iconic. I feel like if I like just heard him talk, I'd
Yeah.
probably like
I
freaking
know.
nerd out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
kind that people like maybe you can relate to this too. When I have guests on the podcast, people ask, "Oh, do you get nervous?" Because I don't get nervous. But I feel like if it was certain people, like people I looked up to playing sports or people that I watched on a movie or TV, I think I'd get more fanboy
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like,
But not
like that.
nervous.
But no, but I don't get nervous like having
Yeah.
all these people,
Yeah.
like these big name people.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't get nervous. Like I'm a fan of them, but
Yeah.
it's not the kind where
It
I grew up. my
touches a
whole
part
life
of you.
and, like,
yeah.
Like if I met Reggie Bush, my favorite football player ever,
you probably
Yeah.
I might get
he's getting choked
don't-
up now.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
I love you.
yeah.
Just because like I see
Yeah.
those people on TV and
Mhm.
I grew up idolizing them. So I feel like that's just different than just
It is.
people that you know
You
are
put
famous.
them on like a different kind of pedestal.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Almost
Yeah.
like not real human. It's like you're just
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
figure maybe.
But
But I also wonder if like you might not want to, some people it's
ruin
like,
it.
yeah, like you don't
Mm.
want to ruin it. Like, oh, just let me
You
like,
always want to seem cool in
idolize
front of
you.
like people.
yeah.
Or- is that what you mean, or you mean like
No,
for
like,
yourself ruin it?
yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
yourself.
Yeah, like you
I
think they're
just,
so awesome and you meet them and they
Oh,
suck
I know
or
what you-
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and they don't live up to your expectation or something. They're
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
a real big.
No,
Yeah.
I think the only thing that like kind of category of people I wouldn't want to meet to ruin that would be like celebrity crushes. Like my childhood
Oh.
crush, Victoria
Like
Justice.
your Victoria. Oh my god.
Exactly, because I wouldn't want to meet her because I feel like that's just like a
Yeah, let her live on in
fantasy. It's
your.
out of reach.
right,
It's
right,
like-
right.
And then
right.
like I don't actually want to meet her and be like, I liked you since you were on Soy 101.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of
I was
Like,
I was convinced for a while that I was like gonna become Ariana Grande's like filmer, and I had it in my head for so long. Like when I started, I was like, yeah, I can do it. And nowadays, like, yeah, I don't know if I would want to.
Oh,
Even if they,
totally.
like,
it would ruin her.
It'd
Yeah,
be
it should be
freaking-
ruined
Yeah.
for you.
so
For you
funny.
anyway.
so yeah, I think when it only comes to that kind.
Mhm.
But the other people, I'd love to meet like Drew Brees, which was my favorite quarterback on the Saints. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that'd be so awesome.
Who's your like number one like wish you could get on the pod?
Probably Jason Momoa or Max Holloway.
Mm,
Those.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's not
not
too far
that
out of reach for
off.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely soon.
Yeah,
Calling it now.
I definitely
Easily.
want to. I feel. I mean, I'm gonna be doing this for as long as I can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Exactly,
there's so many guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more podcasts coming up every year. So
Yeah.
I just feel like the amount of guests and the amount of opportunities for people to be on podcasts is
Mhm.
always gonna be there.
For
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have people back on.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
had Paula. She's a
Yeah.
repeat guest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to
Incredible.
have too many repeat guests because there's so many people I want to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how's that before we get to the last one? How's the podcasting journey been?
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. I mean, we kind of like went into it like not really having a plan. We were
you
just
guys are
like,
doing
oh
so
yeah,
well.
let's just try this out. And like
Consistency.
it's the consistency. Yeah.
quality.
And we both have such crazy lives that
Mhm.
it's hard, like scheduling, researching guests,
Mm-hmm.
like doing the posts, like editing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
promoting
yeah.
it reels. It's like it's a lot of work. And for like Andrea and I, that we already have so much going on.
Yeah.
It's like we definitely love it, but it's like it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll still continue it. We got actually sponsored for the next 2 years, actually through
Nice.
2025
With CPB.
with CPB.
Nice.
So that's
Congrats.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're just trying to figure out like how to make it manageable, like how to
Mhm.
not burn out doing it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we still have a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
wish we could just like do it
Like
like
how-
full time, you know?
Like how I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of stuff too, but like
Yeah.
this is where I prioritize this because I'm able to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 So for you too, man, you guys got so much going on and
Yeah.
you're not able to do that.
Just gotta figure out how to like delegate a little bit more.
Yeah, we
Because I'm also like very I'm like really in it because I'm
Mhm.
like very sensitive to like what the guests, like how they people might interpret things. And so I'm editing everything. And
You
so,
edit everything?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
know
my
that.
gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because I'm the one in communication with the guests too, like
Yeah.
leading up to it. So I feel like, I
Mhm.
don't know, control freak.
No, that's fair.
I didn't know you were
Yeah.
editing everything too.
Yeah.
I got so over doing anything.
Well, when
Like,
the podcasts are going for 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I guess that's
And you
true.
also have like a
Hi,
giant-
Jordan. I hope you're listening to this while editing. Sucker.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, you two, you two are doing great, and you guys get great guests. We should have like a big joint podcast. or
That'd be
something,
so
like
fun.
where all
Yeah.
the podcasting creatives come together. I think that'd be really
yeah,
cool.
that'd be
Mhm.
fun.
Just to like talk story and because I know there's other people. I see the guy Kampai, Sugai, Gavin,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're all cool.
Sky in Vegas. Still Polo Lou was just on it. Still French show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All
It's
them.
just cool. Like I'm sure you think this way too, but just the opportunity to like elevate other voices. It's
Mhm.
like it's not really about Andrea and I because we're actually more comfortable behind the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can like have a conversation and that we can shine a light on them and just kind of let other people know what's going on, like cool things that people are doing, amazing things that people are doing.
Exactly.
It's a privilege for sure.
Yeah.
I do like how you guys, your podcast, don't like discriminate between anyone either. Like you had
Mhm.
Daniel, right? Uncle Daniel on,
Mhm.
Anthony. Like, brah, and that guy, he's not like famous or anything, and you're like you said, elevating people's voices who deserve to be heard. And it's like,
Exactly.
I'm all for that. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like to.
Yeah,
I mean, I like to
educating.
have influential people.
Yeah.
Or, but that doesn't mean famous.
Yes.
People.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I
Yeah.
say influential.
Influential.
Because
Yeah.
like I like it to have some sort of notoriety, but there are people who are big on Instagram and online, and there are
Mhm.
people who are influential in the
In
community.
real world. Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel Anthony is influential in the community
Yes.
in his
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
his zone in the agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
kalo, sovereignty stuff.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
huge.
Yeah.
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 I feel the same about like having Auntie Pua Case on too.
I know.
Because that was
I was
like,
thinking about getting her on.
yeah, oh, you
Yeah, some
should.
people
She's
told me.
so good. The way that she's able to communicate things, it's like so powerful.
Mhm.
Me and Andrew were just like silent, just like
There's
just
some
talk,
guests,
just talk.
yeah, where you just want them to talk. That's how
Yeah.
it was with Daniel. I'm just like, talk.
Yeah.
I just want to listen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And-
almost selfish. Like we
take
feel
that-
like,
to
yeah,
take
like
it
we
away
get
from
to experience this,
Yeah.
it feels so
it's
good.
like
And
an easy way, access to these people because
Mhm.
of the podcast. We get to talk with all these really cool people just because,
Yeah.
hey, I have a podcast. You wanna come talk to us?
Yeah.
So it gives
Totally.
us
Yeah.
access to these people. I think that's
Yeah.
the coolest thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And what is that? I was gonna say something else about the podcast. Hometown legend. So that it inspired me to try to go more of the older route,
Yeah.
like get more guests.
Cool. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you really have young people. I've had a bunch of young people and they're awesome because they're so upcoming. But
Yeah.
I totally enjoy the older people who can just share all the stories because that's experience.
Yeah.
And being able to document that and archive it one day, because this is gonna be on the internet for
Mhm.
however long the internet exists,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever,
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple, and like I'm trying to shift, going more that direction because
love
you
it.
two inspired me with the
Aw.
hometown legends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Expand.
Yeah, it's
Thank
like
you
a
too.
different conversation, right? Because it's like deep. It's deep, and I love it. Yeah, when we interviewed our legends, it's almost like we're just like sitting around a
Mhm.
campfire
It's a
kind
mini
of
podcast.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, we might one day
That'd be
do
cool.
a hometown
just a chat.
series, maybe. But I mean, we let them talk for however long they want to talk, and we're just like sitting around them listening.
Yeah.
Just receiving.
It's always good stuff. It's like never bad stuff either. It's like always usually like wow, like heavy stuff or like nuggets.
Amazing.
So,
Yeah.
Super cool. All right. Well, before we end the podcast, I gotta know, what are your life hacks? I don't know if you guys were able to prepare that.
So
Thought about something.
are they deep life hacks or are they like
whatever you
just
want.
okay? I
Yeah.
got one. That's
My
fine.
my
Here you
funny
go.
one was like, grow out your hair so you save money on haircuts.
Oh,
But then there's deeper ones like
Yeah.
solitude and listen to the radio.
solid.
I mean,
Listen
don't
to the
listen to the radio when you
radio.
drive.
Oh my
so you can
gosh.
just be
Yeah.
deep in thought.
No, that's
Meditation.
good. No, mine's
Yeah.
a little more shallow. But life hack for me is because especially like traveling and stuff, I've taken my sleep a lot more seriously, and I've
Mhm.
noticeably seen how like if I get bad sleep, like my
Mhm.
life just like goes to garbage. So my little life hack is I have this complete zero light penetration eye mask where like you can literally put it out to broad daylight and look at the sun and waving, and it's like complete pitch black.
Wow.
So I wear that to sleep like pretty much every night.
You
And,
do?
Yeah,
I tried that before.
I'm like, well, and it helps because especially if you like different time zones or if you like don't need to wake up
Mhm.
early, you like I time it so that I sleep whenever I put that thing on. Like my brain just like, okay, it's time to sleep,
Mm.
so I can sleep on planes.
Do you have to
I can
put
sleep on
earplugs in?
Sometimes
too,
like if
though?
it's mostly the eyes for me.
Mm.
So like earplugs, I like if there's ambient noise, I kind of like it sometimes. But
Mhm.
if there's even a little light nowadays, so like I've been doing it a couple years, if there's even a little light coming through or like I don't have it, like bro, I get the worst sleep.
Mm.
But I wake
Interesting.
up when I do have it, like feeling just, every day is kind of like, it's not completely perfect every time, but noticeably like, I got a good sleep because of that eye mask for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
So,
I gotta try that.
little hack there.
I think I tried that a few times, but I didn't like having the.
It can be
thing
claustrophobic. It can like I've
around my
heard people
ears.
say like,
Yeah.
oh, it's constricting and like, claustrophobic and stuff. But I don't know.
Where
it
do you
works
get
for
yours?
me.
Amazon?
It's called Manta. It's like a Manta sleep mask. It looks like a manta ray,
Oh, okay.
and it's like literally like foam cups that they like shape to
Mm.
your eyes so that
Okay.
it doesn't leak
I'll give
in
it a
anything.
try.
I don't know.
Where'd you
can
get it
try
from?
out. Amazon. Yeah, they
Okay,
have it on Amazon.
I'll go look it up. Cool.
You
Thanks for
should get
sharing.
one of those like ambassador things.
Yeah.
Just mentioning
They
it on
do.
the podcast.
They're like a big social media. I think I got targeted, and it worked for me. But like, hey, for good reason. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I can't sleep without an eye mask now. It's like
Yeah.
noticeably improved
They're
my
like,
life.
we hear you.
Mhm.
Ad.
Like, oh, I've been getting a worse sleep
Yeah.
lately, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, gosh,
I don't. My life. I don't. I'm so bad at these like things that people do like meditation, like routine things. I like never stick with anything.
How do you handle flying?
Yeah, or like
So
much.
balance with motherhood,
Yeah,
wifehood,
yeah,
So I guess
careerhood.
with that, like my hack for that is like learning to say no,
Mhm.
which actually was hard for me because I'm a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people would ask me to do stuff, I'd always want to say yes.
Mhm.
And I'd
Yeah.
say yes to a lot. I mean, look at me. I'm like the class mom right now and coaching volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say yes to everybody, you know? Like, but after burning out like way too many times,
Yeah.
I think as creators, we push it to the ultimate limit where we like take so much on that
Mhm.
there's nowhere else to go
Mhm.
and you burn out. And I've definitely gone through that too many times. So after like the last few, I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to say no. And it just could be just like simple as like, can you pick up my kid? And like, of course, I'm gonna want to say yes. But if I know that it's gonna like mess the rest of my afternoon, like I had to learn to say no, like gracefully, like say no.
Mhm.
And that could be even like work, you know, it could be
Mhm.
like a client asking for a thing. But if the schedule is already too crazy, like we want to say yes because it feels good to get that,
Yeah.
to get that
Mhm.
contract
Yeah.
and like, I booked something else. But learning to say no to even work stuff when if you look at the calendar, it's like already too full and we're pushing the limits, then saying
Mhm.
no, it's definitely like a learned skill that you really need to practice. I really had to practice
Yeah.
it for sure. It didn't come natural, but that's my hack that I'm working on.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, say no.
Yep.
I think one of the hardest things for me, and I'm sure you two can relate, is that compared to other people who just go to an office, have a 9 to 5 job,
Mm-hmm.
you come home and you always work to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if you're just at home and you're just watching TV or doing something
Yeah.
to kind of get your mind off of it, you still know there's always work to be done.
Yeah.
So
There's like
I'm
that.
just like, and there's no
cliche-
going back.
Yeah.
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 It's like that cliche of like you traded in your 9 to 5 for a 24/7.
Yeah.
You don't work a 9 to 5, you work a 24/7. And yeah, that's how it always is. I'm just like, there's always work to be done.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what it's like to just go home and be like, I'm just gonna
yeah.
relax and do whatever on the
Yeah.
weekend, just
Mhm.
do whatever. I'm like, I gotta post every single day. I gotta
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. I gotta do my
Yeah.
other businesses. I gotta think about what's next. Like, there's
Yeah.
always stuff to do. And,
Oh, 100%.
and it's never gonna end.
I think there's a season of life though for that.
Mhm.
To be honest, like
Yeah,
right? It
no,
comes
definitely.
seasonally.
I think being a mom and having kids that really do want me to be present, I think that forced me out of that
Mm.
that constantly working thing.
Mhm.
But that doesn't also, when you go to that kind of mindset where you're always working, it's hard to revert
To turn
back
it off.
to
Yeah,
to
to, like-
know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And I could say like, I'm not going to check my phone, but like if the notifications keep coming, like when I'm with my girls, I'm like going to look like,
Mhm.
so you just need to, it's like, it's definitely a discipline for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm constantly checking my emails.
I was gonna
Okay.
say because have you burned out yet? And
Before.
at some point, yeah.
Recent, I'm really good at self-care now.
That's good.
Because I've burnt out before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now I surf, I
Mm.
work out, like before I would feel guilty watching TV shows because I used to watch a lot of TV shows
Mm.
growing up and even
Yeah.
in college. That was my thing. I loved, Walking Dead and
Yeah.
all the superhero stuff. So,
Mhm.
and after coming back from Madagascar, I didn't really do that because I was so busy. And then now I'm making it more of a priority. Like, try to finish as much work as I can,
Yeah.
and then maybe the last hour or so of the
Then you
day,
can-
I can just do that, and that's my
Yeah.
treat.
Yeah.
So kind of looking at it as like
That's
it's
good.
okay to do that,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
also I need to surf. Like I
Yeah.
need to get away from my phone. I
Yes.
need to do these other
That's the
things.
balance
Start
right
to
there.
Yeah.
treat it
So
as
so
like
I've gotten to a point where I don't burn out anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
good. For me, I'm on the extremes, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like sometimes like my seasons will be like gung ho, like grind, like everyday work. Like there's like, oh my gosh, and so much is coming
Mhm.
and happening.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, I need to slow down. And then I end up slowing down for like a
Too
little too
slow,
long,
yeah.
a little too slow. Like, and like a month goes by, I'm like, okay, I gotta get back into gear. So
Yeah.
it's like there's like that balance for sure.
For sure,
that I'm
yeah.
still trying to figure out.
No,
sometimes.
I'm like that too. I think
on
it's
the
easy to get
extremes,
lazy
the
sometimes
opposites.
when
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you make your own schedule.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
But that's why I think having a little structure. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for me in the last 2 months, I started going to F45.
Oh, nice.
And before I would kind of sleep in, have slower
Yeah.
mornings, get up 8 or 9, whatever.
Where you
Now,
go at 45?
At Alamoana.
Oh, okay.
Do you go?
Come Kahala.
You go to Kahala?
Like the manager is my jiu-jitsu like professor.
Oh, no way.
And he trains right next to F45. So like,
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
like
I might
hand in
be.
hand.
So I'm working on a
Shout out to
sponsorship with
Jason.
them.
and
you
Jason
too.
worked with ARIA
Yeah.
too. She
Yeah.
so like,
And I know
Yeah.
Jasper and Amy.
Oh
They
yeah,
go there?
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
connected. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
working
very
on a
cool.
sponsorship with them. So I could
Oh,
go
nice.
to Ala Moana because I started at Ala Moana.
Yeah.
And then I moved out of town. So I'm closer to Kahala,
Kahala,
or
right?
Moloka'i.
Yeah.
But because I've been going there and I go to the cold plunge
Do
and
they
sauna.
not? Do they not switch? They don't like.
No, it's only you have
Oh,
to
okay.
have memberships at each one.
Yeah.
But I think the co-owner of Kahala also co-owned Ala Moana, Kapolei, Hawai'i.
His name's
Some-
Shane.
It's something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I'm gonna work on a sponsorship with them.
Nice.
Hopefully that I can go to all of them.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh,
and then
awesome.
you come
Nice.
train. Come
Yeah,
roll.
Yeah, I do. I've always wanted to do some sort of martial arts,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu or something with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But
Something with weapons.
Something with
yeah,
weapons.
because I got nunchucks.
Sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Epic.
yeah, we'll talk about it more. But yeah, okay. So Jordan doesn't have to edit a 3-hour episode. Let's
Oh
Sorry.
my
wrap it
gosh.
up.
Yeah.
These are my last fast 5 questions. So just rapid fire answers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite movie?
Oh, rapid fire.
Interstellar.
Oh, nice. That's a cool
Oh.
one.
Oh.
Rapid fire.
I know. I don't
Rapid.
have a favorite. Oh shoot! If I had to pick one, oh my god.
50 First Dates.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you walk a car? No flippies off the dog. Get your brother out
Get your
the
water
dishwasher.
leaking. Get your brother out the dishwasher.
I love that show.
Dude, so good.
Make my sister clean your
Trying to bang on women.
Yeah. I love that when he goes, oh, come here.
Rob
man."
Schneider is,
Yeah.
he also is like honorary. No,
Yeah.
I can't, I'm not.
Honorary
Ula.
Hawaiian?
Ula, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
100%.
But you remember that's Rob Schneider.
Yeah. I'll take a Moloka'i on this
yeah.
one. You know, so many good lines.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharks, they only bite when you touch their private parts.
Yeah. Bros.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I should have said that first. I'm
Such
sorry.
a
That's
good
my
one,
that's
such
my
a good
favorite.
one.
Yeah.
Favorite childhood snack?
Oh.
Probably White Rabbit.
Oh.
He was munching on
Solid.
that
Dude,
all the
I'm
time.
like so bad at this. I'm the only thing I think about right now is like the Dunkaroos.
Ooh, I
Have
love
you ever had
those.
I don't know if I've had those.
Yeah,
With the
they got the
frosting?
cream. Yeah, the
Yeah.
frosting.
I never had that. I don't know if I've ever even had a Dunkaroo.
That's like
They-
one
they
of
don't
the
sell
few
it, sell
snacks
that
they
on Moloka'i.
sell.
yeah, I
right
was gonna
now.
say sorry, Moloka'i no more. Sheesh. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
favorite hobby?
Volleyball.
Right now it's jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite way to avoid burnout?
Saying no. and
Oh,
sleeping.
And sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
good.
big one for me.
Naps are good.
I can't do naps, but
You
I will
nap?
sleep a full 10 hours.
I nap
Like
hard.
I definitely need
been
like
trying
at
to
least
nap.
9.
Gotcha.
Oh wow, 9.
Eye
Yeah.
mask nap.
I gotta do that because
Try
I
it.
I try to take naps if I know I have a gap
Yeah.
in my schedule. Okay, and favorite travel destination outside of Hawaii?
Ooh.
New Zealand.
I was gonna
Aotearoa.
say that.
Really?
New Zealand.
I
Yeah,
haven't been
let's
there.
go.
absolutely.
It's on the top of my bucket list.
Really? Oh.
What's
Yeah.
what,
New
I'll
Zealand,
go back in
Japan.
a
Since you
heartbeat.
said New Zealand, I'll say Japan. But like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I went to North and South Island and I want to go back so badly.
it's incredible.
Oh,
It's so.
so beautiful. The people, the food, everything
Mhm.
Oh,
about it.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still on the top of my bucket list. All right. So anything else you want to share before we wrap up? I just want to say mahalo for coming on, talk your story, flying over,
Yeah.
fighting jet lag.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
No, just thank you for having us
Yeah,
on.
of course.
I
Yeah,
mean,
thanks.
I love your podcast. We love your podcast.
Mhm.
I'm a big podcast person.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Go check out her podcast, Uncut Hawaii.
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear more of your podcast.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
definitely.
the future
Yeah.
people and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, I love meeting people, talking stories. I love collaborating. You know, I'm sure
Mhm.
we'll work on something in the future, or we'll collaborate on something.
For sure.
We're planning a podcast party with all the past guests. So whenever
Oh,
that
cool.
happens,
Sick.
you will be invited, and
Sweet.
all the past guests will be invited. So it'll be
Fun.
super awesome.
Fun.
Awesome.
But tell us where we can find you both.
I'm
Nainoa Langer on Instagram.
I'm only on Instagram. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same kind of. Kolby Moser, hometown_legends, Uncut Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're mostly on Insta.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, for the
Come find us at the festival.
I was gonna say for Hometown Legends,
Mhm.
like there's a website.
We have a website. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it? hometownlegendshigh.com.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on. Well, go check it out, everybody. Mahalo, Kolby, and Nainoa for coming on the Keep It Aloha podcast. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.
Aloha.
Kawaii. I don't know the hand movements yet.
I got all my hand motions.
I'm still new to that.
My hand signs.
All right, I'm gonna miss my flight.
Oh, sorry. What time's your flight?
Oh, shoot.
5:30.
Oh, you should have just told me.
I didn't know we were gonna go that long.
Oh, my bad.
Fly back
All good.
later.
There's always another one.
There's always more
It's
flights.
all good.